Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Lobotomy Corporation stream. We're doing progress today. We're making progress today. I've got I've got I've got a couple of things that I did. Um First of all, I installed the unlimited extraction mod. And that's the one that lets you continually re-roll your abnormalities so that if you get one that is not new, you can re-roll it. So I re-rolled repeatedly until I got something new. And basically the alternative was running the same 2 days over and over again. After I did the math, I found out that it would take approximately uh what was it, 10 repositories to get the first one, which is I don't have information on this yet. I apparently have gotten unique PE boxes for it, one singular unique PE box for it, but I don't remember when I did that. And then the other one we have seen before is the slime waifu. We've actually contacted once, and that's about it. We just have had experience with it once. So I do have like an idea and a strategy for it or whatever, but like I was basically soft locked on progress, and I didn't want to stream continually doing memory repository, like literally over and over and over again an endless number of times. So I decided instead of doing that, I was just gonna use the mod that lets me re-roll. Now I'm not using it to build a perfect facility. Obviously, my facility is far from perfect, but I did use it, and I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to admit that I used it for the reason that I did, because I think it's pretty reasonable. Now, I don't know exactly if it's possible to make this abnormality like stop spreading and killing people. I don't know how it works, but I do know that it is incredibly dangerous, and I think it's an Aleph level abno. So my goal here is to make sure that we get the gear for that one. And then once we have the gear for that one, we'll probably roll back the day, or roll back the series so that we can get our hands on another set of gear. But for the time being, I want to see how this one behaves. And if there are no clerks in the area, I want to see if it's possible for us to actually engage with her. Because now Lean has the heart above his head, but I'm pretty sure that he pollutes people who are around him, and if nobody's around him, it's just fine. Literally called melting love. Perfect. I love the abnormality looks adorable, but the actual image here is like a melted human skull, which I think is really funny. I'm going to try to farm as much as possible with this abno. Common with attachment. Insight. Okay, so the only thing you can't do is repression work. And it looks like attachment or insight are the highest. Aleph difficulty. She be scary. I'm pretty sure as long as we keep everybody else away, it should be fine, right? As long as nobody comes down here ever, it should be perfectly fine. I want to get all of her data. I think we got all of, yeah, we got all the managerial guidelines. Now let's take a peek. When the work result was bad or normal, the Quopoth counter lowered. Melting Love gave a lump of slime to the first employee, blank, who performed any work with them other than repression work. The lump healed blank SP and raised their work success rate. However, Further observation is needed to determine how the lump's effects change according to the state of melting love. When D031091 completed repression work, the quilt path counter lowered. Employees who are in the same area as lean, basically, have a low chance of being infected by the slime. Those who are infected by the slime, who are the infected, can be distinguished by a trace of slime on their cheeks. Employees who made contact with the slimed ones also had a low chance of infection. When enough time had passed after infection, the skin was completely, say, merged with the slime, and infected employees turned into redacted. The quilt path counter dropped to 0 when the number of slime people took up more than 50% of the department, while Lean is still alive. The quilt path counter dropped to 0 when Lean died. After a series of experiments, it's been found that the spread of the slime can be controlled through insight work. If Lean performs insight work and produces 24 or more PE boxes as a result, the slime will not infect other employees for 30 seconds. However, please be cautious, as if less than 24 PE boxes are produced, every single one that is infected is going to be transformed into redacted. All right, so literally it's just like, I don't think Lean can infect himself. He can only infect people who are inside the department with him. So as long as we keep him away from everybody else, it should be fine. So I don't see any way that we're going to have any problems, because we've just straight up, I murked all of the other rando employees in here the second I started this work. And it looks like I can just farm her for attachment work. So I think I might do, what I might do is, like, she's at minus 24%. We don't even have the last bit. We just got the last bit, but she's at minus 24%, and we're still getting like 25 PE boxes. We're still having positive interactions. So I think as long as we can manage to keep White Knight subdued, everything there should be fine. And we have unlocked the gear, so we can take a peek at it. For Aleph gear, this is surprisingly, yeah, this is surprisingly weak for Aleph armor. It does have a 70% damage resistance for red and black, but only a 1.0 for pale, and only a 40% damage resistance for white. I've got WoW gear that's got higher white damage resistance than that. But I think we can get all of this, and we'll be able to hire 2 new employees. And the weapon, I will have to see if the weapon has alternate damage or something like that. But it does have long range, which we want more ranged weapons. Story time. This is story time for our new slime abno. This abnormality was created with the ideas provided by Tumblebug Backer Mole, a melting slime with a resemblance to humans. When inspected closely, its containment unit is covered in its mucus secretions. Today, I'd like to talk about the recent incident everyone has heard of. I need to make sure I'm paused. Okay, I am. Recent incident everyone has heard of. That's right, that dreadful incident when an army of slimes took over our facility for redacted minutes. There were several containers left in the redacted lab, which were not processed properly during the experiment related to redacted. If you know about the redacted experiment, you would already know that the contents of those containers are merely useless leftovers that only prove the experiment had failed. Our researchers felt there was no need to dispose of them. It was obvious that one newbie to research team had no idea what was inside those containers. Employee Marie found the containers of pink slime and felt that they could pose a threat. It was assumed that she thoroughly concealed and kept them in redacted status. If my assumption is correct, the melted object in those containers was probably the redacted of redacted. I became sure of this when I read the passage that described its appearance as that of an adolescent human. I don't know if it was fortunate for us or not, but its memories, including those of the experiments, were completely gone. It could barely speak a word or two. It was also mentally unstable. It became extremely nervous when Marie was not present. Marie had a brother whom she lost during her childhood. It started when she felt an attachment to the childlike pink slime that followed her around. Mary showed an unprecedented level of decrease in her mental corruption. Indeed, it was extremely unusual. Of course, it was certain that the abnormality somehow affected her in a positive way, but that was the end of the benefits. Her colleagues started noticing her odd behaviors. They tried to ask her about them. It was the right thing to do. They were educated about the potential implications of a steep decrease in mental corruption levels and understood that a person disappearing every single break time is a dangerous sign. However, Marie didn't say a word to them and ended up detained in the counseling room until she opened up. Meanwhile, the slimy creature that had forgotten everything instinctively remembered one thing. It had to get out of the facility, no matter what. This abnormality once again felt extremely nervous when Marie didn't show up on time. It thought that she was in danger. It was then that it decided to escape with her. A rare bond had formed between the two. They cared about each other from the bottoms of their hearts. Confined within the counseling room, Marie eventually gave up her right to remain silent and began to reveal what she had done, how she kept the contents inside the container, and how she was able to form a bond with it. However, she couldn't finish her words. This was because she melted in the blink of an eye. Moments after the signs of an abnormality showed up on her skin, yes, she quite literally melted. Melted in her entirety. And that wasn't the end of it. The slime that once was Marie, a few seconds ago, began to move. It wasn't a difficult task for a fluid creature to slide under the door of the counseling room. Did it have a speck of human rationality? No, just a newborn, just like a newborn duckling blindly following its mother. It simply moved towards the abnormality. And it wasn't just Marie that turned into slime. Every single employee who had made contact with her in some way began to melt too. Those who were questioning her, who had shared a meal with her, who had worked together, soon this army of slime began to attack other employees, all for the mother slime, the abnormality they loved. Yes, out of love and love alone, they killed. And my dear employees, I do hope you all don't forget to put on the gas masks we distributed to you before we entered, did you? I do hope that no one took it off out of boredom or stuffiness. I must inform you all that some of you are already infected by the slime I told you about. We did not give gas masks to some of you, and we did say that it was because we were out of stock. Though, to be truthful, it was just so that we could distinguish between those who are infected and those who are not. You may feel fine now, but before an hour passes, your flesh and bones will start to melt, and your mind will disintegrate into pitch black nothingness. Then you will begin to wreak havoc on the facility. You'll probably, as your first action in your new form, jump at the employees sitting next to you, all for the mess of slime you so adore. Yes, I know, it's unbelievable. You feel so alive and clear now. Just how on earth could you melt down into slime? And yet you will. It's not your fault, of course. Someone among you made contact with the slime abnormality, and you were just the unlucky sap who happened to be around that person. It's meaningless now to determine patient zero. I doubt they had any idea how catastrophic the results of their actions would be. I doubt they had any idea... Bleh. They did... Wait. I doubt they had any idea how catastrophic the results of their actions would be. I doubt they had any idea how catastrophic the results of their actions would be. They did it out of pure affection, after all. It's a it's a doozy. I thought I was like going cross-eyed or that I wasn't reading correctly. That's just a typo. They just repeated the sentence twice. Finally, those uninfected who are wearing masks, please ensure you pay attention to your hygiene immediately. Report when you see an employee acting out of the ordinary. You'll simply be infected as well if you attempt to help them. Now, in your desks, there will be 9mm pistols, all perfectly locked and loaded. What you must do now should be clear. We will not open the doors until the situation is taken care of. If you think this is too cruel, allow me to remind you that this is your job. I hope to see you again once everything has been handled. And her name is Melting Love. Perfect. Yeah. No notes. I think this Abno is incredibly interesting. I get, though, that she is wildly dangerous and super scary. But very, very cool. I love the I love the mechanic and the fact that clerks are just, I mean, purely a liability. In 99.9% of cases, clerks will literally just get you fucking killed. The fact that the clerks infect each other and that you infect other agents and that they melt down, and once a certain number of agents have melted down, it causes her to escape, which causes her to generate more, and if you try to suppress her, all you'll wind up doing is having your agents who are not wearing ranged weapons or ranged gear to get infected too. It is literally like, if she gets out, it's cooked. You're cooked, and it's over. The only way that I can see to handle this Abno would be to just have Lean locked down in the slime dungeon with her. Oh, hey, Kirgo. Yeah, have Lean locked down in the slime dungeon with her, and then just literally never let Lean move anywhere else inside the facility. I think Lean is just going to be down there until we have all that Aleph gear. And then we'll do memory repository, because I do not feel like dealing with this. How are you doing today, Kirgo? Kirgo. I almost called you Kiryu. Kiryu-chan. We just had our story time for Melting Love. It's an abno I've seen before, but my god, she's absolutely terrifying. Congratulations on getting a new job. It is a difficult, it is a tough economy. Let's say it's a tough economy if you're looking for a job. Yeah, and you beat this godforsaken game. I'll say that while this game, I mentioned in the Discord ages ago, like, this is not a game for everybody, and it's barely for me. It feels truer and truer the more I play. Like, this game is really a pain in the asshole to deal with. And there are so many ways that things can go just wildly wrong. But you know what literally can never screw you up? Is gunning down every single clerk you see. Literally just kill them all. There's no reason to ever have clerks run around free. They didn't really need me, but they wanted me. That's well, dust that dirt off your shoulder, swag master. That's true. Nurses are the best. That's not even hyperbole. Nurses are the best right now. Uh-oh. I took my eye off the ball for like 2 seconds, and we're about to have White Knight breakout. Yes, that's right. I not even for a bit I have White Knight in my facility. I have White Knight, the Slime Lady, and all 3 of the birds to make Apocalypse Bird inside my facility. This is potentially a absolute shit scenario. Yeah, I'm working on getting, I think I have 3 total abnormalities. 2 of them are inside the facility. I think I have 3 left. And then I've seen 100% of the abnos, including the backer abnos. And I've been collecting Aleph gear, with the exception of White Knight's weapon. I have all of the Aleph abno gear. Alright, now I gotta gun down all these. Nope, Lean, you're not allowed to do that. Belay that order. You're not allowed to go anywhere. I think you're missing 2 or so. I've actually not finished the game once. I got really close to the end, and I did Hakma's suppression. The only suppression I haven't done is Bina's, of course, because you need 100% abno in order to do that one. But I got to Hakma's suppression, which just so happened to be the day before a memory repository link. It was a memory repository day. I did Hakma's suppression, and I managed to suppress him, but I got really unlucky, and I had a purple midnight scenario take place. I managed to kill the purple midnight. We made it through it, but it did actually kill half of my entire facility. So unfortunately, I felt as though if I didn't restart, I was hamstringing myself, and I was walking into the unknown. I think the last thing that I had done is I had seen the last segment of the facility. I met myself, so to speak, and then after that I had "Don't touch me" in my facility, and I touched it because I didn't know. Of course, I'm like, okay, it's, you know, tale as old as time. We've got a new abno. Let's go interact with it. And first it caused me to brick that that day, and then whenever I reset it and I tried to touch it in the main screen, it crashed my entire game, and I was like, wow, this game really is something special. It didn't eat my ego gear, not that I know of, no. But it did crash my game, which was, like I said, it was one of those moments where I was like, God damn it, I love this game. It's frustrating in so many ways, but I really do appreciate what this game is serving. So right now, the only thing that can really screw me up is the ordeals. In an ordeal, Big Bird can break out. And if Big Bird breaks out, he has a one-shot mechanic, and he can just instantly kill one of my melee suppression people. Punishing Bird is supposed to have kind of the same thing, but we found out that we can actually just smack him, and we have so much HP that we can just tank his one-shot attack. Because when I had it the first time, it ate half of my ego gear on day 46, never rewinded. Oh my god, how did it... Wait, what? How did it eat half of your ego gear? I didn't even know that that was a thing. That sucks, dude. Oh man. That's the worst. Because ego gear is like the one thing that you really cannot stand to lose, right? So she had a mid experience, and it looks like that caused her Quillpath counter to go down by 1. I need to be... Alright, no more work with her until we've reset the day. Or until we've reset the meltdown counter. It's kind of a bug. It kills your employees, and if you restart the day, then crash the game will delete your gear. It's odd. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would be livid too. I've only experienced a couple of bugs in this game. One bug that I had was when I was doing... Let's see. I was doing restart, a day 1 restart, and instead of getting 1 sin and 100 good deeds, I got the Child of the Galaxy. And it just bricked the run, because you literally, like, especially at that point, I had not gotten the upgrade from HOD that has everybody start out at level 3. So I was like, I literally can't do work with this thing. As soon as I go into work with it, my stats are so low that it just breaks out. So that was a bug that I had. And then another bug that I had was, what was it? I had Apocalypse Bird and White Knight at the same time break out. And with Apocalypse Bird, you can't pause and you can't press escape to go into the menu. And with White Knight, you have technically one person who's still alive and is still able to move around the facility, but you can't really engage with anything. You could put White Knight back, but they're still, if you put White Knight back, they die. So, like, they sacrifice themselves to 1 sin, and it causes White Knight to go away. So that bug was really weird. Basically, it was an Alt F4 situation. I could not even pause the game. I couldn't press escape. So, Apocalypse Bird blocks your ability to press escape or pause the game. So that was goofy. Getting an abnormality twice. I heard there's something that you can do that can actually get that to happen. Like you can actually force that situation if you wanted to. I don't know why you would try to get 2 of the same abnormality, but I did hear that that was something that was forcible. I don't think I'm gonna let this blue noon happen because my facility is so fucked. If shit gets out, I wind up having a cascade event where Big Bird lets out other stuff. This thing gets out, Army in Black gets out, and then when Army in Black is out, it does a thing to release other abnormalities. So it's a whole mess. And Melting Love is very close to breaking out right now. I think we end the workday. And I've got one more workday that I can do. So I think I end the workday. All right, Scorched. That is really cool. 4th match flame. It's like a bazooka. I swear, I've seen some of the coolest ego weapons in the end of the game. Scorched Girl is like my second to last abnormality that I unlocked. That would have been really cool to have in the mid game, I think. All right, I think if Melting Love's Quillpath counter reaches 0, it's going to cause a big mess. So I'm just going to end. Check every abno observation level. What do you mean? 4. Literally, you want me to click on every single abno in the facility? Are you sure about that? I know the wording alludes to that, but I don't think that's what it actually means. I know that's what it says, but I don't think that's actually what it means. I have meticulously gone through and made sure that, holy shit, I know that I did the mirror of adjustment an unlimited number of times. I know I did that one. Thank you for calling that out, Keldy, because I would have missed that. I have a sneaky little mirror. Excellent catch, for real, because I was like that would have thrown me off. I would have been so irritated, confused, / irate even. So what I need to do is I need to do one more day, and on the next day, aside from also trying to get the rest of Melting Love's gear, I need to bring a random bozo who will use the stat adjustment thing 100 times. It will tank their stats because it's a permanent stat modification, but it'll tank their stats, but it doesn't matter because they're a random bozo. So I want to, I'm going to use the re-extractor here, but I'm going to say I'm going to go based on no, wait, I don't need to do unlimited re-extracts because this is an item day, so I can only accept an item. All right, so Portrait of Another World, Backward Clock, Notes of a Courageous Researcher. I think Backward Clock is probably what I'm going to take. It's something that literally I can use 4 times before it has a negative situation, before it has a negative encounter. All right, now we need to pull in a random bozo. Really curious about why it hadn't unlocked. It's excellent point, Keldy, because I thought I had to have 100% abno unlocked in order to do Bina's quest. I was confused, super confused even. This season has had my nose all screwy. Okay, random bozo. Daphne. Danger-prone Daphne is going to have her stats shuffled to the Shadow Realm. Doomhauer can follow ya boy. I will celebrate being useful with Ben & Jerry's and vanilla rum. I am so glad that you get to celebrate. That's awesome, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling that out, because that shit would have driven me absolutely crazy. A boop, a boop. All right, Lean, get to work with Melting Love. A friend had to tell me that, yeah, that's how I learned that Ego Gear has special properties. So one of my friends who was watching stream was like, "Hey, click details," and I was like, "What? Details?" And who knew? There's actually a details page. I should be working more with nothing there. I'll have Yum Yum do work with nothing there. So we want to try to get as many boxes as possible as quickly as we possibly can, because I don't want to drag this day out at all. All right. I want to make sure that I think they're, yeah, all of the departments, or all of the clerks down there are dead. This is the last day that I can do. Daphne, come down here to the mirror of adjustment and just use the absolute hell out of that thing. I thought it was just fluff. I mean, that's the thing though, Kirgo, is it really is fluff for the vast majority of the Abno ego gear that you look at, but except when it's not. Like, it's not fluff for some Abnos, but it is fluff for the vast majority of Abnos. So you can't really be blamed for assuming that there's no actual value in peering over that data, because for half of the ego gear, you look at the details and it's literally just fluff. So all right, I think yeah, she just had a mid experience. That's unfortunate. So we only need 100 or so more PE boxes with Melting Love, and then we're set. It's 107 more PE boxes. So we're gonna have the day end here. I think we'll trigger the day end by working with Big and Will. I will answer that question, Kirgo, after the ads are finished, because I don't want you to miss out on my answer because of ads. But in a minute and change, I'll check in to make sure you're there, and then I'll look at it. Not Keldy. We want to have Doomhauer work there. I mean, you could throw Daphne into the Melting Love wood chipper if the results go too bad. No, Daphne is Daphne is a bozo. Daphne is her singular purpose is to eat the stat modifier. The mirror of adjustment, I've used it before, and that's why I was confused, because I thought I had all the knowledge on it. The mirror of adjustment is something that guarantees that your stats will go down after the first use. You use it once, and then after you've used it once, it guarantees that all subsequent uses of it will tweak your stats, but it will slightly lower the stats as well. Because I think the first person that I shoved in it, I just used it over and over and over again, and then I found out that the stat shuffle is permanent, and I had just tanked one of my EX character's stats into the ground. Just a couple more works with her, and we're set. Yum Yum! Yum Yum was one of our random Bozo characters, but she's graduated from Bozo to full-on Lackey. Okay, Melting Love is at minus 12%. We only need a couple more bits of work with her. I think we're going to hold off on doing another work with Melting Love because the counter is about to reset. Do one more work with Scorched Girl because that bazooka is really cool. I'm not even going to use it. I just want it. Okay. So that, I think, yeah. So Yum Yum is just going to delete that one, and then I'll send Yum Yum down here to kill this one as well. Then we've got 2 here. So have Fatal take the one and then Jax take the other one. In the central area, I see 1, 2. And then we got to go up. I think we get 1 per department. So as long as I make sure in each space I've clicked on and targeted one of them, we should be fine. Called your agents Muppets. Excellent prudence trainers just got new recruits trained up on that, shuffled their stats, gave them a nice spread, especially in justice. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty awesome way of handling it for sure. So I did get the adjustment thing. We'll see what happens whenever we end the day, if that actually triggers the thing that you were talking about. I hope so. We just need to get the power and then we're set. Keldy, you've been, I don't know if you've seen this, you've been going in, I've been sending your character in to literally just smack Punishing Bird every single time it breaks out. You walk in and smack it, it tries to bite you with the insta-jib chest attack, but because your stats are so high, you just kind of like laugh in his face and then he goes back. Because you can't suppress him, but if you engage with him, he will just leave. This is increased. This cost that was 205, and it's increased by 9 points, and I don't know why. That is immensely satisfying. Fuck that bird. For serious though, for multiple days, you were literally just standing there, and it was just pecking you for ages. And it was really immensely annoying to me because it was pecking you in the head and making a lot of noise in my ears, and it was just annoying me. So I'm incredibly satisfied to say, yeah, that you were able to just like shrug it off completely. Okay, so I can answer your question now, Kirgo. What was my impression of the core suppression? Which ones were especially difficult for me? I would say that Hakma's was incredibly difficult, but Jebro's was the hardest. Hakma's was really difficult because I just kept getting bad luck, I think, on the midnight that I had to go through. Aside from that, I would say that for the most part, Jebra was the hardest because it was just about figuring out her phases, figuring out how to manage her phases, and then I ended up getting out of that one with only 1 fatality. I had, when she does her charge attack at the last phase where she just charges straight at one person, I had everybody downstairs, and I got to that phase I think 3 times. The first 2 times my characters were all standing inside the same room chatterboxing, so I couldn't see the target, and they would not shut up for long enough for me to figure out who she was targeting. So of course she just walked into the room, and whoever she did end up targeting, she hit everybody along the way to smack them, and it caused a failure. But whenever I sent people down to the biggest room in the game down here while she charged from upstairs, she ran all the way down to Central Command. I was able to isolate the person, send them to go meet her, and then send everybody else into the room adjacent. And then she... Necro is one of my faves. He actually is the one who bought me the game, and he died for the cause. Jebra smashed his skull, crushed his skull with her thighs. It's canon. Yeah, so Bozo Lackey, good sequence of ranks. Yeah, I had never considered using the mirror that way. It is like, it's a Zane, and if I had gotten it really early on, I think the first time that I saw it, I was down in welfare team. So that explains why gear got more expensive. The clerk buff got reduced to level 1. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know which area makes ego gear less expensive. I think it might be Bina. Alright, the important thing here is that the clerks don't die to actual abnos that I execute bullet all of the ones that I can possibly execute bullet. This one down here. And we've got a couple of random bozos in the way, so we'll gun these bozos down, and that should fix that. And we've got this guy up here, and we've got the one down here. Lean can put that one out of its misery, no problem. And then up here, Alpha B, here are your walk-in papers. There should be another one up here. This is weird. Okay, there we go. There's two more. They were just hiding. All right. Okay, Army in Black escaped. Big Bird's at 1, which is not good. Big Bird will escape if I can't manage to trigger the next event. Big Bird will escape. I'm wondering if maybe I could just say fuck it and send people in to go do work, ignoring the abnos that have gotten out, and kind of let the facility go to shit for the energy. Just try to get as much energy as I possibly can. Because at this rate, with Army in Black out, I think it's really, really difficult to actually get... Yeah, Big Bird is definitely getting out. Okay. Alright, so... This gets tricky because Big Bird has the Instajib mechanic. Let me see over here. I think we've got Yum Yum is not working right now. Favorite Abno? Oh, it's hard because there are so many. I'm gonna say one of my favorites is definitely Express Train to Hell. And one of the reasons why Express Train to Hell was so entertaining for me is because of all of the wild shit that we got to experience together on stream, because I got Express Train to Hell and just tried to roll with it. I was just like, this is a mechanic. We just have to learn how this works. All right, so Bobby is targeted. I think what I can do is, where's the shelter? Because I think I've got shelter somewhere around here. This day might be cooked. This is one of the problems with the current setup I have. I think if I send Bobby into shelter, we might be able to actually work with this. So one of the things I'm thinking right now is if I take out the ordeal. Sorry, I'm like hyper focused on what's happening right now. Once this is clear, I'll be able to look at chat again. So one of the things I'm thinking of right now is, like, if I can manage to get the ordeal finished, I might be able to just end the day even with Big Bird out, and then I can just say screw it. I don't really have to worry about avoiding Big Bird if I'm able to catch the person that he marks early and send them into the shelter. They can drop the debuff, and then he'll only kill random bozos. You know, like, he's gonna eat this bozo. Process of understanding. And yeah, we can end the day now with having all of the gear, and we're safe. And we got the quest that Keldy had mentioned also. So we get to see new Bina content as well. God damn. Okay. Yeah, so my heart rate got a little hype there. AI just replaced more jobs in extraction. She had a mountain for a while and that was enough. Yeah, mountain made me hate the clerks for sure. Meat lanterns, that's one of the ones I've never seen. I don't have meat lanterns. And I think we're not going to take whatever Abno we get here, we're not going to be able to get data on, because I am not keeping Slime Lady in my facility, and we're like right before a thing, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna take Silent Orchestra just because we're definitely going to memory repository so we can clear Slime Lady, and then we'll move ahead. So it says I finished Bina's quest, but I didn't get new Bina story. Yeah, I did. I did read the lore on Bloodbath. And Bloodbath is fun. Alright, so it doesn't matter here because we are going to memory repository. If we play through day 40 and go into day 41, we get a new checkpoint, and we don't want to... I don't want to keep the Slime Lady. I've got too many abnos that completely fuck over my day to keep another one. So we're gonna go ahead and do a memory repository, and on the first day we complete after this next memory repository, I'm almost positive we can get the I guess Meat Lantern is the last abno, because that's like I was told I was missing exactly 2 abnos, so I need to get Meat Lantern. So that's interesting. So he moved the Slime Lady. Oh my god, yeah. Definitely can't have him moving the Slime Lady into the middle of a highly populated area. I guess we would just not interact with her, but still. Okay, so now what we have to do is roll back the day. Or roll back the roll back... We're fucking with time. We'll do that. The one they were about to abandon because it's called White Knight. Yeah, Keldy, we did a story time for Bloodbath. You want me to read it again? I mean, I can be forced. I can be forced to do things. That is a possibility. All right, Cat is going down to here. We're going to pull down... Jobby was the one? No, Doomhauer is the one who is following White Knight around. And then we need some bozos. We need some new bozos. Kirgo, would you like a bean? Okay. I could just use your name, Kirgo. And how about you just tell me if you've got general vibes for how you want your character to look, let me know. Otherwise, I'll shuffle until I find something fun. Give you a bright color. I can do that. Not blue. Oh, hi Phantom Dusk. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the party, pal. Okay. I like this indignant face. Yeah? Phantom Dusk, have you ever actually played Lobotomy Corporation? It is, it's a lot, and it's also, very spoilery if you don't know anything about the game but you're interested in playing it. I would say, okay, if you've played a bit but you like if you don't really want to see any spoilers, I would hate to spoil it for somebody who... But yeah. this game is really, really cool, and I like it a lot, but god damn, it's hard. I started streaming this, and then I got I don't know, it feels like I'm a couple of weeks in. I'm more than a couple of weeks in, but I looked at my playtime the other day and I was like, holy shit, I've played this game for well over 90 hours now. And we're gonna just beef up Piper. Piper is one of the random bozos that came in, but they just happened to be alive whenever we finished Apocalypse Bird, so Piper got one of the best items in one of the best ego gifts in the entire game. So I figure we'll just have Piper get statted up, and that'll be fine. One of those games you're really hesitant to try getting into because of the difficulty. You know, if like I'm a huge proponent of variable or sliding scale difficulty. If you feel like the game is not fun for you because of certain levels of difficulty, mod the game. There are so many games out there, or so many mods out there for the game, and they're super easy to install. I would say just mod the game and make it work for you. You know, find a way to have the game fit into your style. Or don't. You can, you know, like my partner, she can't play this kind of game. She just, it does not click with her. It does not jive with her at all. She just doesn't like the style of play, but she really likes the story. So she's got a couple of Japanese streamers that have done this game, and she's got one person who she really likes, and she's watched that, and she has all of the information on all of the abnormalities, and she's enjoyed the story and everything without ever having to touch the game. So I would say that, like, there's absolutely nothing wrong. Yeah, if it's a style of game you enjoy, then try to play through it, and if it doesn't click with you, or you run into something that you feel is complete and utter bullshit, just mod it. Yeah, I've heard that Library of Ruina jives a lot better if you've played through Lobotomy Corporation, or you know the like lore and info of Lobotomy Corporation, but I've never played Library of Ruina. I have it under a very good authority that it is goated with the sauce, and that I should absolutely play it. So I think I'm probably going to wind up picking it up and trying it. I usually don't like half-ass games, or I usually don't partially complete games. If I'm gonna buy a game, I almost always 100% it. So I'll probably wind up picking up Library of Ruina and dedicating a day to doing it. But I don't like, I've really enjoyed Lobotomy Corporation, but I don't necessarily want to be a Project Moon streamer. Like, I don't want to just be a Project Moon streamer. I enjoy doing all different kinds of games. And I always have about 3 games or so that I have like in my hopper that I'm playing pretty actively. And because of the level of focus that this game requires, and because of the level of difficulty, it's kind of absorbed all of the time that I have to stream. So I'm looking forward to like doing maybe split streams where I'll do like a day or 2 days on one game, and then I'll have another game that I play as well, because I don't necessarily want to just stream only one game forever. I think Ruina is the second. And Limbus Company, I'm pretty sure, is the third game in the genre, in the series. Okay, soon to have a Purple Dawn. This next one will trigger a Purple Dawn, so I kind of want to just wait. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Somebody's pathing was far enough away that I overcommitted. Limbus may have flashbacks, but if I recall correctly, LabCorp Ruina Limbus. Yeah, like, Necro has told me this is like one of Necro's favorite series, and I think Library of Ruina is his favorite game. All of that into consideration, I'm 99% sure that it's Ruina next. 99.999% sure. The doctors hate this one trick. Oh, thank you so much for following, Kirigo. Now, I think you're the first follow since I modded some of my stuff, and I didn't hear any thing pop up, and I didn't get any like special notification. So now I need to know. I know I need to go back into Stream Elements and tweak the settings because it did not behave the way that it was supposed to. Apparently, there's also a webcomic, a novel, and a comic. There seems to always be a nice around a genre or around not a genre. God damn it, around a setting as detailed as this is and as interesting as this is, with a player base and really like a here we go, Keldy. Yeah, we're gonna put down Punishing Bird. You ready? And it tries to eat you, and it's just like, oh no, never mind. I need to go back to bed. But yeah, with a genre like this, literally a genre like horror and eldritch things and abominations, unspeakable things that will literally drive you insane by looking at them. That genre is, I feel like a lot of the people are kind of starved for games that really do that well. And I think that this series really stands out as a series that has capitalized on that yearning for a game that kind of hits that mark, while at the same time being incredibly weird. This game plays weird as hell, but it is really satisfying. Once you get the hang of it, it is really satisfying to progress and to find new abnormalities. The like discovery of the unknown and having shit happen to you that, you know, it's like, wait, what just happened? Why did everybody inside the facility just die? That's horrible. Thank you for following, Phantom. Much love. Delighted to have you guys here. Undertale. Undertale's another one I haven't actually played. Undertale. I won't say I am, because I'm playing Lobotomy Corporation. I've started picking up and playing newer games, but historically, I've been a person who plays games that are like that came out 10 years ago and are on Giga Sale for like 85% off. So I think Undertale is kind of getting inside of that range for me as like a game that I could potentially pick up and try out. But for the most part, I've picked up games that I've always kind of wanted to play, or they were on my radar whenever they came out. And I've started playing through a lot of those these days. I think I'm up to 120 or 206 100%ed games on my Xbox account. I haven't done necessarily the same thing on Steam, but I'm going to use the mod for re-extraction here because I think I'm missing one abnormality, and I don't want to I don't pray to RNGesus. I bend RNGesus to my will. I want to get all of the abnos. I want to see all of the abnos, and by God, there it was right there, and I just clicked past it. Happy Lunar New Year, Fatal. Welcome back. The biggest issue of Undertale is the fan base and no volume slider. Yeah, I don't know about the no volume slider. I'd probably need to mess with my Windows settings to turn down the volume. It's basically what I do with every single game, and yeah. The biggest problem with basically everything is the fan base. The fan base or the player base can easily ruin basically anything good. So I generally try to stay off of the Reddits of the Reddits or the fan followings of most of these things. But my interactions specifically with the Project Moon fan base has been incredibly positive. Everybody who's popped into my stream who's wanted to see what the hell's going on and, you know, wanted to kind of experience the story with another person has been incredibly awesome, spoiler free, really patient, and just super cool. It's all good until Limbus. See, I've heard really good things about Limbus, and I've also heard that Limbus is a gacha game, but it's made by a company that doesn't know how to make gacha games, so it's actually pretty good. So that's the soft pitch I've received. But like I play games in sequential order, and I'm not going to touch Limbus until I've 100%ed uh, library of Ruina, and that's from what I understand, that's gonna take a while. Don't ever interact with the Limbus fandom. Well, I think the Limbus fandom probably has the problem that a lot of other like let's say a Warhammer 40K shooter game that has the Warhammer 40K fandom, which has its own problems, but then also pulls in another group of fandom that is, you know, slightly more toxic, and those two mix, and it's a volatile mixture, and you wind up with some sort of goofy goober chaos, chaos, no pun intended, situation. But I imagine that it might be something like that, where you have like the hardcore gotcha fandom mixes with the Project Moon fandom, and you get a volatile concoction. The Undertale fan base brought Markiplier to tears because they didn't like his voices for characters, which is crazy. I know very little of Markiplier. I've seen his reacting or smash or pass Pokemon video, and that's literally it. But if he like when reading stories or things like that, doing voices for the characters, that's really cool. And I feel like regardless of whether you think it's right or not, like fuck off. Like you don't have to say that. Just let the person read it the way that they want to read it, and let them be the way that they want to be. In my very first facility, I couldn't do Jebbra's suppress 3 Aleph mission because I just happened to dodge any. You just happened to dodge any? Huh? Runa's gameplay is so damn good, but I'll have to dedicate time to it and keep my focus on it to keep the strategy deck and active memory. Oh, got it. You didn't have any Aleph abnormalities, so of course you couldn't do Jebbra's because you didn't have the damage output. That's what you mean, right? She, in her 4th phase, she will just crush, one by one, crush all of your abnormalities' skulls. God damn it. I had the thing that I'm looking for show up. And now it's not showing up. There it is. Okay, that's not a flower. Order all the employees to nearby to evacuate immediately. So this is one I've actually never seen before. Nah. One of her missions is to suppress 3 individual Aleph, which I couldn't. Ah, Kirgo! I got it now. Yeah, no, I'm stupid. Yeah. That one was tricky for me as well because I only had 1 Aleph whenever I got that mission, and I didn't have. Well, no, I think I just had gotten the reroll, but I hadn't seen all of the Aleph abnos, and I was still trying to explore new and discover new abnormalities. So that was one that was a bit tricky for me as well. We're gonna move you down here, Kirgo. Limbus and Ruina fandom specifically is full of freaks. I mean, Fatal, you're not wrong. Like, I do self-identify as a freak. I wouldn't necessarily say that I've joined any given fandom because I'm heavily resistant to that kind of labeling. Like, if I'm going to say if I'm going to say anything like as far as fandom would go, I would say like I like game A. I really enjoy playing game A or game B. But I would not play any game just because it is in group or in game A group or whatever. But yeah, like the Japanese and the Korean more specifically. I mean, you know, we live in a society, right? And it takes all kinds. So I find it really funny. I find it really funny to hear about fandoms and things like that rather than directly engaging with them. I would say it's similar to, what the hell? This thing's already out? All right, managerial guidelines. When the work result was bad, the counter lowered. When the work took less than 40 seconds to complete, the counter lowered. What? Where did it go? Nobody in my facility is going to take longer than 40 seconds to complete the work. That's just not going to happen. Where is this thing? There it is. What a cutie. It's out where? It's out and about? God damn. I don't have enough information on it to know what the hell happened, other than that because the work result, or because the work was done quickly, it got out. I'm sure Meaty will turn up soon enough. Yeah, but like it's gonna burst out of the chest of a corpse or something like that. Like, or not corpse, sorry, I meant clerk, but basically same thing. I heard new sounds localized in this area. Oh, there it is. It did just burst out of somebody. Who did it burst out of? That's a clerk, right? I fucking called it. It's gonna burst out of the chest of a clerk. That's funny. That is really funny. It's good. This thing is gonna be out constantly because there is no way I'm dealing with that. It is adorable. That is super, super cute. Go yell at it. It's adorable. Go yell at it. Oh, punishing bird's out, and Keldy's busy, so it's just gonna go peck somebody. It's out again. My boyfriend drew an image of me holding it. So cute. It is adorable. It is one of the most adorable looking abnos I've seen. All right, Keldy, go smash this thing. Oh, there it is. Holy shit! It actually killed Keldy. That did a lot of damage. Oh my god. Okay, so obviously we're not gonna let this stand. We're not gonna keep going, but I do need to get as much information as possible. The facility's systems and employees will be unable to detect the abnormality when it escapes. Thus, the manager will need to manually pinpoint it and order suppression directly. That's fair. That's fair. God damn. It just popped out of the ground and ate Keldy. I don't know how I would potentially I guess what I could do is I could finish the day. I get all of the info on it, I finish the day, and then this is annoying to train, or this is annoying to get all the info on for sure. Oh my god, and now we have minus 56% chance to complete White Knight's work. That is not good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to reset the day. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to survive White Knight having a minus 56% chance to succeed. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I think we're cooked. Yeah, we gotta redo this day. You did have a good run. You're the two-winged angel. To fall on a tiny little Teth abnormality. It's honestly like it's hit or miss with some of these abnos. You wind up with something that just, you know, looks incredibly adorable or seems really innocuous, but if you twist the dial just slightly to the right or slightly to the left, poof, it just instantly kills you. And I know that wasn't an insta-jib. What had happened there? What had happened is I had sent Keldy to go suppress. I'd sent Keldy to go and suppress the other thing, Punishing Bird, and Keldy walked into that room to suppress Meat Lantern with nothing but like 2 hit points or whatever. I think Keldy was down to like 10% HP, and that caused him to just get instant et. But Keldy has some of the highest damage resistance, regardless of what type of damage he's doing. Keldy's got 80% damage resistance, so at full health that wouldn't have killed him. And we can suppress Meat Lantern. It's just we're gonna have to, you know, just gonna have to make lemonade, right? We'll figure it out. The fact that it doesn't pop, like, I have to listen for the sound of when it pops up, and it's not easy to identify. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. It just looked like, it just two little heads that looked like it. There it is. We've triangulated its position. I got comfortable bludgeoning punishing bird and was punished for your hubris. That's true. That's true. Check what media is good with. Hire a Bozo Deluxe. With your own gameplay, you know you've been as far as training department at least. HOD is great. Once you start getting into the suppressions, I think the game really opens up. And I would say that, like, in most cases, one of the big mistakes that I made is that I day one restarted too much too soon. I would say, like, play as far as you can and like enjoy it. Take your time. How did Falgrim die? In Central Command, Falgrim died. Where and how? Here? You're kidding me? You're kidding me. All right, I have to test something. I have to test something. Do, just minding our own business. Do. Yep, that's what I thought. Do, just mind my own business. Do. Yep, it will bite. It will just jump out and attack whoever happens to walk by. So Falgrim was walking towards the naked nest when it just jumped up and ate him. And most of my characters can tank the damage, but apparently some of them can't tank that much damage. Yeah, there's a lure right there too. We got meat lanterned. Okay, so I think the solution to this is to bring in Bozo. I'm not gonna deal with this long term. I might do a full memory reset when I get back to the game too. I don't think that would necessarily be a horrible idea per se, but I do think that, like, if you want to like re-experience the abnormalities or whatever, then doing like a full wipe on your data, I guess, would be a thing. I know that when I finish this game, when I 100% it, I'm not gonna start from the beginning and play this game again. I don't want to do it again. It's been really, really fun, but I don't want to do this again. So we'll have to see. We're gonna pull it. Here's Daphne, our random Bozo of the day. We'll send Daphne in, and let's just begin management. We'll see what it is. It once ate Punishing Bird and Big Burb, and one of them. Oh, okay, that's amazing. Okay, so it actually can help you if you have it set up right. All right, so we don't know the actual work time for this thing, so we're gonna send in somebody who's fresh off the presses, brand new, and see if we can get them to gather the data for it. But 40 seconds is a really long time to be working, so I don't know if somebody who's level 3 is going to be able to do it in over 40 seconds. We'll see. Yeah, he broke out. So it doesn't matter if we're using a random Bozo or not. I think I can lower stats, but then, like, it's going to take even longer, and we're still, like, how should I say? We're still, like, riding the lightning, so to speak. I'm just gonna have to figure this shit out. There is no shortcut to success with this thing. I'm just gonna have to figure it out. Could try it. That was a totally fresh Bozo, Keldy. All of the random Daphne is a totally fresh Bozo. Where is it? I guess that hasn't broken out yet, huh? You found it? Oh, there it is. What the actual shit? It's so Keldy's melee weapon is set up so that if Keldy walks up to attack it, it's going to be able to counter. Okay, so that's good to know. Certain people, if they engage it, specifically in melee, are going to take enough damage for it to fuck their day. So that sucks. I don't love that per se. Yeah, you forgot bozos are hired at level 3. Yeah, the bozos are hired at level 3. I think the play here is to send somebody in to go do work with it who's going to get as many unique PE boxes as possible and just try to get this shit over with. It is a very cool abno. I have no idea why it's a Teth. Why it's a Teth, I have no idea. Whenever it can just straight up kill you. So this is another tricky bit. Like, I can't send people in to go do work. I can't safely send people to go do work. I don't know if the spawning system is such that it spawns exclusively in hallways. All right, Lean definitely can't go fight this thing because he's got a melee weapon that's going to put him right in its face. Let's see. We'll try Mickey's. I think Mickey's hammer allows him to stay at a safe distance. And we know for sure Julie... we haven't seen the slime weapon. Let's see what that looks like. We'll send Piper in as well. So let's see. I'm going to slow down time to normal speed. Okay, so the slime weapon looks really stupid, but it does massive amounts of damage. Good to know. Okay, yeah, so sending ranged people in, it can't really do anything to stop you. So that's good. Good to know. It is an adorable abnormality, but oh my god. It's kind of easy to deal with it overall. It's not a horrible abnormality to deal with for sure. It's not something that is I love this gear. This gear looks really cool. For Teth gear, god damn, that's such an awesome looking hammer. And the chest piece too is so awesome. I do also kind of like that we have to play hide and seek with it. I think that this would get really tedious later on, but for now, because it's fresh, it's new, it's novel, I enjoy it. I think if I had to deal with this too much more, it would annoy me if I had to deal with this in the end game. But because, and this is a spoiler, so close your ears, Phantom, if you don't want to hear it, but later on in the facility, you wind up getting to a point where you don't have meltdowns anymore. So if it's in an area where there are no meltdowns, I could see it not being such a horrible thing to deal with. We are up to minus 18% success chance on White Knight. So that is tricky. I got it early where my people started on level 1, so it was a non-issue. Yeah, for sure. If it takes you 40 seconds or more and you're not level 3 on whatever, like the temperance stat, then yeah, that makes a lot of sense that it wouldn't necessarily be incredibly difficult abnormality to deal with. But man, like I gotta say. All right, we have all of the info on Meat Lantern. The facility systems and employees will be unable to detect yet. Okay, so let's do story time. It's always under the floor of the containment unit, only showing its eyes and a mysterious luminous organ above the ground. There's no way to confirm what it looks like in its entirety as it moves underground, not through the hallway. It is impossible to predict its path when breaching. For the same reason, its escape cannot be detected. Lloyd, you're located near the information team, right? I've heard that some employees went missing around that area. Would you mind checking to see if there are any abnormalities causing spatial interference? What? There's no such abnormality around here. I don't detect any breaching abnormalities either. Look everywhere. Well, Lloyd, there's no sign of any abnormality, but I do see a small flower on the ground. What are you talking about? What flower? The bud is glowing. It's amazing. It's strange. It's strange finding something so green here when we don't even get sunlight. It's so bright. Other employees came over to look at the flower too. You need to come here and see it. The light is so bright and warm. I feel like something good is about to happen. That's not a flower. Order all the employees nearby to evacuate immediately. Do not run away in a group. You have to slowly escape one by one with quiet steps. What are you talking about? I thought you told me there's nothing nearby. Wait, I think I just felt a slight tremor beneath my feet. Is someone fixing the pipes today? Ah, screw it. Just enjoy looking at that flower all you want. That is the last line in that story time is the quintessential Lobotomy Corporation employee experience. We should try to save their life. Oh, fuck it. Never mind. You're cooked. Just accept it. I kind of like that the room distortion abnormality, just that you have to do it in 40 seconds or less to prevent breaching. Yeah, like the that one was really annoying to, I would say more annoying than Meat Lantern to track down and identify, because it leaves those spatial distortions around the area, and it also sucks the air out of the environment, so it just travels around and instantly kills anybody who it comes across. Whereas Meat Lantern, as long as you don't send people wandering around, it'll only just eat clerks. Speaking of which, I'm looking around and I do not see its breach. Where is it? I'm a master ambusher. Nya, nya, nya. That's true. That is exactly what Meat Lantern be like. Where the hell is it? It's funny because the solution for dealing with Meat Lantern doesn't scale necessarily with your level. So like the higher level you get doesn't necessarily make it easier to deal with Meat Lantern's hide and go seek breach thing. If you can't find it, it's going to kill your clerks and potentially cause more bad stuff to happen. Lower safety? Oh, there it is. Yeah, the green of it was kind of like blending into the background. It's very difficult to see. Yeah. This fucking idiot. I'll kill you myself. Okay, now I think that's it for Meat Lantern. We don't ever need to deal with it again. As much as the gear looks cool, I just don't want to have to, I don't want to have to deal with that. Alright, so we need to trigger a meltdown event. Oh god. Triggering the meltdown event is probably going to make me have to work with Meat Lantern again. Shit. Yep, that's exactly what just happened. Well, having a bunch of people go around and pathing is a bad idea because Meat Lantern is about to pop out. But as long as people on my team, I think with the exception of a very few, but like, for example, Julie has 50% damage reduction. How did, that's what I'm wondering is like, Falgrim's got 130 hit points and some of the best ego gear in the game. No, he's got 150, 149 hit points, minus 50% damage to red damage. What is this thing doing? Oh, it's doing white damage. That's, no, when it bites you, it's not doing white damage. I'll have to check it whenever it pops out. The only boss in the Terraria mod of this is Red Mist, by the way. That is the boss of this game, though. That is like the boss. If you're going to choose one boss in this entire game to showcase the game's difficulty, it would be Jebera for sure. Where the hell is it? Ah, there it is. Jax can definitely handle it. Kitigo got the... You got the teeth from working with Meat Lantern. That's funny. I think Jax can just take it out from a distance. Boop. The clerks yearn for death. Literally, like, all of the clerks are pathing through this area. It's like they're trying to die. Unbelievable. My clerks are griefing me. Such an ugly ego gift, but doll. Yeah, well, it's apropos. It is your favorite abno, and it's appropriate that you would get the ego gift for your favorite abno. Okay, so we'll have you guys go to this work. I'm gonna do a quick break because I need to use the toilet, but I'll be back very shortly. Uh-oh. That means more Meat Lantern? Are you sure, though? Because it looks like White Knight is okay. We're at 5 stacks for Big Bird, and Army and Black's at 3, so I think we're fine. Yeah, peck, peck, peck. I came back and I saw, oh no, didn't pause, and I was like, oh, god damn it, I did it again. And they're trying to figure out how to go about adding the rest of the abnormalities and the gifts, but every single ego weapon in game so far. That's really cool. I feel like that's something that modders would probably have done. Keldy, go suppress Punishing Bird, would ya? All right. Yeah, anyway, we have a Discord for as long as Discord has not been completely overtaken by the information gathering, the data gathering and distribution services like Palantir. We'll see how long it lasts, but we do have a Discord. If you press !Discord, you're welcome to hop in and join. We play games, we share memes, we hang out, and all kinds of stuff. You can also often find me inside the voice channels there as well. So yeah, y'all are welcome to join. It looks like we got really close to White Knight popping out because I sent Fatal in there to work with White Knight while it was in the purple, and it is still in the purple, which means we were almost into the last phase of White Knight's thing. Feed the algo data. It's hungry. Yeah, that's basically where we're at though, isn't it? Like, feed the machine god. Build more data centers. We need more data centers. Okay, this is the baby one. So let's just put these guys down real quick. Luckily, and I will say luckily, luckily I think Meat Lantern has actually killed a lot of the random clerks around and like kind of thinned the herd out. So it's actually going to be, I think, a bit easier for me to deal with this. Of course, getting a noon event will almost assuredly put us in a situation where enough clerks will die that Big Bird will break out, and that causes a cascade of absolute hell, and I'll need to re-roll the day. But until that time, having less clerks is always a good thing. Gun them down. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can get 600 in before I get the next ordeal. That shouldn't be an issue. And since I don't need to worry about working with Meat Lantern, I should be able to just run through it. Hopefully we'll get to see Bina's story, because we did just complete the Bina quest. I think that was the only quest that I had that was available. I'm pretty sure that it goes it goes based on the day that you're on, so I'll have to push the days forward in order to find out what the deal is with that. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see Bina stuff soon. It has been getting pretty chilly out here, but the weather has been fluctuating so wildly, it's hard to really know what to expect. I think we had like a 17 degrees Celsius. We had like a 17-degree day on the weekend, and then it snowed, I think, on Monday, and and then the next day it got warm enough that all the roads were clear, and then it was warm yesterday, and then today it's Thursday, and it's been getting really cold again. So it's really, I have no idea what to do with the weather in its current state. It's been chaotic. Meat Lantern again. God damn it. Okay, I think we'll wait to do Meat Lantern until we absolutely have to. I'm going to send everybody to go and do work with the WoW and Aleph Abnos that we have available. And then once they're about to get out, I'll send, it should be around the like the 5-second marker or whatever. I'll send Kat in to work with Meat Lantern. And that should, around that time, we should be hitting the energy quota. So we can bug out before we have to deal with Meat Lantern again. Or not. I guess we might actually have to deal with Meat Lantern again. So close. So close. We just need like one more work after Meat Lantern, because Meat Lantern's going to give us around 10. Yeah, so when Mickey gets out of Big Bird, we can just end the day. And it doesn't matter if Meat Lantern's out. Awesome. Not having meltdowns in departments is the best. All right, so we've got Happy Teddy Bear, Clouded Monk, and Censored. So that's He, Wow, Aleph. We have Little Red Riding Hooded Mercenary, Melting Love, and Dream of a Black Swan. I think we're going to take Little Red Riding Hooded Mercenary because A, their gear is goated, B, they look awesome as hell, and see we can use them to attack abnos that are escaping. To save himself a future nightmare, he used a save editor to reset White Knight when his save that person I was talking about. Ah, yeah. So like I am not going to I'm not going to mess with my save files to attempt to get White Knight's gear or anything like that. If I had like foreknowledge, if I knew about White Knight before I encountered White Knight, what I would have done is I would have sent in 12 random bozos to get the blessings and not my best characters. And also I would have sent in literally random bozos because I think it's based on the name of the people. So for example, like Akane is one of the names that's inside the seed. So if you hire a random lob and then like you remember what the names are of the 12 that you send in to sacrifice to White Knight, you can essentially set it so that White Knight kills these people, and then you can constantly reset until you get those same 12 people on a subsequent save file or on a subsequent playthrough. And then when you do the run, those 12 are going to be the ones that get sacrificed or get changed. So you can send them to specific places, and like I mapped it all out in my brain and I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not doing that. Yeah, he stands 0 chance and in the end forced his counter to max for the last 5. Yeah. Oh, just read a trick to find meaty easily. You can share if you want. Yeah, Keldy, go ahead and tell me. I'm interested to know. The names are actually remembered across saves. Apparently, yeah, the names are remembered across saves, but remember, it's not the name that you name them. It's not the name that you name them. So when you create a character, you hit hire, like, or you click to hire a lob, and it generates a random bozo, right? And those random bozos have names that are within a list. And the way I understand it is the name that is generated when you click hire before you customize them, that is the name that gets tacked on to White Knight. So it's random, but click rabbit. Oh, the rabbit. That's really good, Caldy. Yeah, that's really smart. Because I can click the rabbit thing and then cancel, and it'll automatically find him. That'll save me trouble later, but it's not a big deal right now. All right, Little Red Riding Hooded Mercenary. We've got all the info on her. I just want to get the gear. It's not super important, but she is a WoW Abno, and WoW Abnos are what we're farming for that sweet power. We need unlimited power for the shareholders. Don't you know? He is the master of timelines. That's true. That's true. Well, he's tri-omni. He's omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipowerful. Omnipotent. We love a good tri-omni in our stories. I do. I think there's a lot of fun little thought experiments that you can play around with whenever you are dealing with a tri-omni entity. I think that's it's conceptually super fun. I do like that LRHM's teeths are a mask. What? Those are letters. I don't know what that means. I did Apocalypse Bird and only 3 people died, so almost the entirety of my facility got that ego gift. A sight to behold. Yeah, when I did Apocalypse Bird, only 1 person in my facility was not, who is here, was not present. Unfortunately, I'm a complete and total dumbass, and I didn't know, this is because I haven't Googled anything, I haven't looked anything up. There is this guy who has an ego gift, the Solemn Lament, that goes on the right back, and it gives +1 to all stats. And I was like, this is amazing. I want to get this on all of my characters, and I want to lock it in. And I'd gotten it on like 3 or 4 people and locked it in. Apparently, the only other right back ego gift in the entire game is Apocalypse Birds, which is strictly better. It's just 7 to all stats instead. So yeah. I had some serious egg on my face whenever I finished Apocalypse Bird and had that information presented to me, because I was like, God damn it. Oh, Little Red Riding Hooded Mercenary. Okay. Yeah. The teeth are super cool, but yeah, it says Crimson Scar. I don't know what you mean. It's a mask, because I don't know if that's actually a mask. I think that's her face. I also like the Frost Queen guaranteed ego gifts are nice. Yeah, the way that Necro always puts it to me is Necro says that ego gifts are just fashion and you shouldn't worry about them, which I think is fair. Especially, I think that stats over 130 have diminishing return, or over 100 have diminishing returns, because the bonus. We've got Daphne right here. We can just look. She's got 51 in Justice, which gives an 11% attack speed bonus. No, there's no diminishing returns. Sorry, no, we're learning. We just learned together, because 51 plus 5 is 56, so it's about 10% increased attack speed for having a 50 point Justice stat, and with Cat sitting at almost a 150, it's 30%. So it's for every 50 Justice points, you get 10% increased attack speed, or 10% increased movement speed. Daphne has no gear because Daphne is a bozo, and I will throw her into a wood chipper if I so please. So you can relax, because that's all part of the plan, baby. I'm now drunk with Power Manager. Our manager has grown so much. Speed run the days? Define speed run, Fatal. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Genuinely trying to go as fast as I can on the days now. I'm done. I can check. I'll check after this day is finished, but I'm like almost certain that I'm done. If it wasn't for the goddamn Big Bird, the goofy goober Big Bird shit that I have to deal with, these would not be threatening at all, and I just let the clerks die. Think of Chesed as a mission. Oh, think of Chesed. Yeah, Chesed's mission was just like literally speed run, go as fast as you can, and end of the day. No, Daphne, you're useless. Stay here. Absolutely too many things inside my facility that can just kill you. God damn it. That section, the yellow is definitely my least favorite. It's my least favorite thing to deal with. That ordeal. That ordeal category. I hate the yellow ones. Yeah, I'm progressing. I'm trying to do as quickly as I can. But I'm also trying to make sure that I don't make any fatal errors, because making an error such as that would cause me to restart the day, and a single restart would take more time than just a little bit more carefully playing through as it stands. Oh, we're almost done. We'll pop out of this ASAP. The thing, like I said, the thing I was waiting on before was actually just getting enough information on the new abnormalities. And now that we have all the info on the new abnos, there's no reason for us to linger or do day resets or anything. We're gonna move the story forward now. And I think one more work. We're like right on the line, but like one more work should be enough to push us out of here before we get our red noon. Awesome. Day 39. Not express train to hell. Yeah, backward clock. That one's fine. Train pog. No, don't. Say what again? If I make a fatal error? I definitely wouldn't want to make a fatal error. I want to know a fatal error, but I don't want to make a fatal error. Because that means somebody dies. You like the sound of that? You would. Okay. We'll poop scoot Daphne out of here. We don't need her. Fatal error would be clean all the floors after cleaning Meat Lantern. Yikes. We'll send Jobby up here. Jobby can start working with ya boy. We'll send Doomhauer over here, and I want to send Fatal up here to work with Derfray shoots for a little bit. I'd like, if Fatal can get rid of the goofy goober looking smile, I'd like to replace that with a pipe. I think that would be fun. Okay. And we're off. Want to know one of my favorite things about Undertale? I would love to know one of your favorite things about Undertale Phantom Dusk. Please tell me. It's been out long enough, I feel like getting hit with a spoiler for a game that has been out as long as Undertale has kind of, it's my fault at that point. We send Jobby down here, and then we'll have him work with White Knight. We need to have Jobby on deck. The power of determination with its ability to save, load, and reset timelines is fully canon. I love whenever they canonically integrate the ability to fuck with time. It's such a cool concept. It's such a fun concept. So in a similar vein, of course, this game does kind of the same thing, but in a similar vein, I absolutely love the way that this game plays around with your, the manager's cognition filter. The, the goofy, silly, the goofy, silly, and cute like characterization of the interface, the abnormalities, and the beans is all canon, and I think that is also super fun. Refusing to die through the power of determination. Sans trying to guess how many timelines the player's been in based on how frustrated they look is super funny. You look really angry. You must have died to this boss 20 times, you bozo. That's something in Undertale? You look more angry based on how many times you've reset the timeline? That is cool. Alright. We need to do one. We'll do one more work with nothing there. That will trigger the next meltdown. And Red Riding Hood. We're going for power. It's all about that power. Power overwhelming, even. Yeah, Sans literally acts like he doesn't know but clearly knows about the time shenanigans. I like time travel. I think it's something that can be done really poorly, and it's something that could be done really well. One of my favorite games of all time is Chrono Trigger, and it's just the fact that you can jump around in time, and the story, even though it's significantly simpler than a lot of the more I don't know how should I say, like, more contemporary options. It does tend to have like a smaller pool of possibility, but that doesn't deter or doesn't take away from the fact that it was one of the pioneers of playing around with time in the way that it handled its storylines. Being able to, like, go back in time and, like, feed a family, and then that changes the behavior of a person 3 generations later because his parents were less stingy and more giving and caring. So he is therefore less stingy, more giving and caring, and is able to help you out whenever you need it. I handle this ordeal, and then I can read chat. Get up there, yum yum. The Big Birds lost a Quillpoth counter. Army and Blacks lost a Quillpoth counter. I don't know if Army and Black... I don't know if you can recover Army and Black's Quillpoth counter. I know that you can recover Big Birds by having positive interactions with Big Bird, but I'm not sure if you can actually recover the other one. It's only 2 characters 100% know and remember, the others that know but don't remember the time shenanigans, counting yourself. So you're saying a lot of thought has gone into writing Undertale? Yeah, I might have to give it a peek. I might have to give it a check. It's definitely been on my radar as a game that I've been told by trustworthy sources that it's a really good game and that I would enjoy it. I had so many games though, or I still do have a ton of games in my library. I'm not even talking about my Steam library because that is just an abomination right now. But on my Xbox library, I have so many games available to play that I want to play. Not like Game Pass games or whatever, because I don't pay for Game Pass anymore. But just like inside my standard library of games, I have so many random games that, like, I bought and I genuinely wanted to play. But I think I crossed off something like 60 something games last year, just by, like, focusing really heavily and intently on getting games that I had started completed, and games that I've started and games that I want to, like Rogue Legacy, for example. I really enjoy Rogue Legacy. It's super fun, but I wasn't able to dedicate the time to it to finish it back whenever I was living in the States. Never got around to playing it, but seen playthroughs of its writing is very good. Where when there's a lot of variables are edited, Sans gives you a phone call and acknowledging it. It doesn't stop you from doing file edits, but it acknowledges that it happened. Yeah, another game that did something similar to that is Doki Doki Literature Club, which allows you to mess around with the, like, in order to get the actual true ending, you actually have to mess around with the files in-game. And the character, Monica, knows that you've done it and brings it up and talks and, like, addresses it. And I think that's, I don't know, I think that's really fun whenever a developer decides to mess around with the fourth wall like that. I need more water. Reminds me of DDLC, has a funny bit of dialogue, but you can only see it from the file. Her text file is being embarrassed about you basically reading her mind. Alright, Dimensional Refraction variant, Queen Bee, and Melting Love. All of those are kind of annoying to deal with. Grave of the Cherry Blossoms is an absolutely hard no. Melting Love is also a hard no. I think we're going to take Spider Bud. And I know it's like taking a Teth at the end of the game, but genuinely, I can't. And we'll slap it down in Hakma's section. I should have finished out Bina's. I don't need to get Spider Bud in the facility. That knows and remembers the time shenanigans. If you have a pirated copy, you're allowed to do the whole first zone of the game. Then that character calls you a filthy pirate and closes the game after saying to just buy the game. That's really, really funny, Phantom. I absolutely love that. The fact that they'll let you play the game, they know that you've pirated it. They'll let you play up to a certain point, and then they're just like, "Hey, dude, come on, what are you doing? Just buy the game." That's really, really good. The game dev game where if you have a pirated copy, all the players pirate your game and you can't make money. Yeah, the perfect. 0 notes, honestly. Alright, I fucked up and I forgot to move Jobby downstairs with White Knight before the day ended. You might be wondering, why am I sending specifically Jobby to go work with White Knight? And it's because since I'm pushing the timeline forward now, actually, I need to go retry the day anyway. I want to go back to the main menu and I want to check my abno percentage. Yeah, I want to know for sure that I've seen all of the abnos. I still intend to push forward, but I just want to see what my abno completion percentage is. The first Spyro game does an interesting thing too. What does the first Spyro game do? I played that one ages ago on the PlayStation, but I can't remember. I was definitely not old enough to have recognized any of the stuff like what we're talking about here. Okay. Codex. 98% completed in my codex. I must be missing something really simple. I don't know what I'm missing, but I've got to be close. 98%. Maybe there's something that is story related that you don't find until you get deeper into the story. I don't know. Backer item abno probably. That's true. That's possible. Yeah, the longer you play, the buggier it gets, and if you manage to push through all the bugs to reach the final boss, the game is guaranteed to crash if it's a pirated copy, to the point where it's barely able to be completed in the last area. That's an interesting way of dealing with pirating for sure. I don't know. I kind of appreciate it whenever they do something silly like allowing you to continue to play the game despite, you know, having a pirated copy of it. I don't pirate games anymore because it doesn't make financial sense to pirate games anymore. I remember when I was a kid, I'll admit to pirating some games whenever I was much younger, but I do remember the age whenever pirating games and what is it called? I was about to say DRM. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember the acronym for it, but the thing that they do where they try to block you from doing it and they tack on a bunch of extra software onto the game. I remember that age, and I remember pirating through that age. Despite the fact that they were adding all of this extra stuff on there was always a crack. And I feel like it was almost like the developers, and mostly I think it was the publishers that were insisting on it, but the things that they were including into the games were making it worse for people who were actually buying the game. Like I own and I've recently played a legal copy of Fable 3. And my god, it is so obnoxious to deal with the DRM. Even with a paid and owned copy, And it's like, oh my god, I'm so glad we're out of that age, because it was just such an obnoxious period of time to be playing games in. Punishing Bird is broken out. It's cooked. In The Sims, what it does is if you ever have a sim get the censorship thing because of nudity, it spreads to the entire screen. Helldivers 2 anti-cheat / DRM thing got so bad, it was hard locking people's PCs, which is not fun. My god. Yeah, I don't even know what to really say about it. Like the DRM thing, it's, if people are gonna pirate your game, if they will not play it unless they can pirate it, they're just gonna pirate it, man. There's not really anything you can do about it. They're just gonna pirate it. Alright, it's in Central Command. Here it is. Julie, Ferret. That should be enough. You guys can suppress him. The goddamn random bozo came in and caused Ferret to get bit. Gabe N figured this out. Gabe Newell just figured this out. Make a good service. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's one of the things about video games that kind of just irritates me. Companies go out of their way to try to block people from pirating, and if they had just done what would be best for consumers, to use capitalist language here, if we just do what's best for the consumer, which is to make the service affordable and easy to access and relatively stress-free, people will pay for the service. It's like when Netflix first came out, right? Like, I don't know if y'all remember before Netflix, but there's this time, right, like before Netflix, where people were pirating all the time, and we had like the piracy numbers plummeted whenever Netflix came out and really got a mainstream and had expanded its library. Whenever you make it so that gaining access to things like that is a huge pain in the ass or a chore to do, you wind up making people more incentivized to pirate. Where in the actual hell is... Oh, I think Bobby's all the way upstairs. That's what's happening. There he is. I need somebody down here to work with White Knight. The hard lock was a combo of Asus hardware from 4 years ago, specifically Windows 11 and a game guard. And the worst part, it was randomly frying GPUs, motherboard, GPUs, RAM, and power supplies. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if your software is causing any kind of like internal problems to the extent where you're permanently damaging hardware, and the sole purpose of the hardware is to stop people from pirating a game, like, actually go fuck yourself. Like, what are you even doing? My stonks. Keldy is zooming. The Da Capo is really good. Okay. She's out? How did she get out? My god. I don't think she can actually hurt Greed unless she has an instant-jib mechanic. It's a very cool combat music with an abno. It's not often that you. I'm gonna be right back because I'm gonna grab water and I've got one of those mochi tofu donuts that's like covered in powdered sugar and glaze. I'll be right back. I want to eat that. Okay, I'm back. Supposedly that was happening in extremely graphics-intensive scenes. As overclocking to the max, your VRAM and power surging the device repeatedly. In essence, it was rapidly wearing hardware into oblivion. God. That's spooky, especially considering how expensive hardware has gotten over the years. I know, like, if we're talking about per... How should I say? If we're talking about, like, per megabyte, yeah, the cost has plummeted, right? But we're in a weird time right now for tech companies and hardware, with the cost of RAM just flying through the sky as we're having these massive data centers being built all over the place. I feel like now is not the time to be having DRM fry your hardware. It's one of the reasons why I don't really buy a lot of new games on PC is because my PC is old, y'all. My PC is at least 10 years old. I think depending on what part we're talking about, because I do have parts in my computer that I've had since I played WoW, and that was ages ago. I think my graphics card was a reward for top DPS in my WoW raid, and that was like ages and ages ago. Nowhere to go but up. Hard drives are being fried too. Here he is. Mickey. Down any of the clerks that get close. So lucky I don't care about graphics at all. I feel like that is the way. It's to get really zen about modern graphics and understand that having something tied to photorealism oftentimes actively makes it look worse than if you went with something more stylistic. For example, like this game's art style is evergreen. It will always be a solid choice for an art style. Because it's not tied to photorealism, because it's not tied to pushing the graphic systems to their absolute limit, it will just always look good. It will just always look cute or whatever. Slay the Spire has an option I wish more games did. You can turn on the beta art and it's like stick figures the dev drew as a placeholder. That's really cool. I love that as an idea. That's really fun. All right, yeah, we don't have to deal with our noon event, so workday 40 is complete. And we're on to our memory repository. Here's my little fried mochi tofu ball. These are so good. I wanted to make sure that was information that I had already read, so I read the first couple of lines. I don't want to miss anything new. King of Greed. We're not picking King of Greed. For the same reason that, well, I mean, King of Greed is easier to deal with than the Queen of Hatred, but yeah. Did I hear Pokemon recently spent more on the Super Bowl ad than the entire budget on Legends ZA? I mean, I can believe that because I saw the release of Legends ZA and I was not impressed. I think Arceus, I haven't played a Pokemon game since I played the Eevee version of like the Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu version. I played that, but I haven't I haven't played a mainline Pokemon game since X and Y. I made an abomination that was cinnamon rolls with a layer of cream cheese icing, then a layer of cherry pie filling, then a layer of cake mix, then a layer of butter on top. That is an abomination, Greed. My God. Was it good? Was it yummy? Did it sate your hunger? Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't trust Game Freak, I don't trust Nintendo, and I don't trust Pokemon in general as like a genre anymore. They got too silly with it. They got too silly with it. I'll say that. Like, I feel like they just stopped trying. I get to, after a certain point, like, how are you going to continue to create new and interesting creatures? Here's an idea. Make a new game. Make a new IP. Do something else. Stop making new Pokemon because they're not interesting. It's like, oh, this Pokemon is called Satool, and it's a chair it's a chair. It's just a chair. I just genuinely feel like they just aren't trying at all anymore. Pokemon is the most sellingest franchise of all time, though. Leaving money, yeah. Think of this. You have to think of the shareholders, and there's the problem is whenever you have people who are making decisions on what to build next or what to make next, are only concerned about the bottom line and how much money you're able to pull in off of a franchise, rather than whether or not they were so busy asking, like, or so busy thinking about how much money they were going to make, they never stopped to consider whether or not they should actually make the thing. They've stopped trying to even make basic levels of quality. One of my big problems with gaming in general, with video games as a medium these days is there is very shitty optimization even for consoles, which the hardware just doesn't change from unit to unit. And I think it comes down to companies needing the quarterly report to look good, so they'll push out a game before it's finished baking, and you wind up with something that is like, I don't know, a cobbled together mishmash, or it's just buggy as hell, and they're just like, oh, I'll fix it later. And then whenever it performs really poorly on launch, something that could have been a really good game or a really interesting idea or a spin on a genre or a topic ends up flopping because people will get their hands on it and they see it's a buggy, broken mess. So then the company, what do? They're going to pull people who are working on that project to have them work on something else that will, you know, theoretically make all of the money. I don't know. It's one of the big issues that I have just with the industry in general. And it's as somebody, I'm not young. I'm not sprightly. I'm 38. And I've been playing games since I was 6. So I've experienced like the ebbs and the flows of the industry, and one of the biggest issues that I have is that wait, did I say I was 36? I'm 38. Anyway, I one of the things I've noticed about the industry is that it just it has been corrupted. It feels as though it's not as good as it used to be, And that's not like it's not me being nostalgia pilled. I think it is actually that too much money has gotten into the industry. Too many people who don't play or have any interest in games are making decisions about what kind of games are going to be made, worked on, and what kind of franchises are going to be fleshed out. You've got non-creatives sticking their beaks into creative fields and screwing with the waterworks, if you will. Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. I played Hollow Knight, and it's one of those games similar to Rogue Legacy that I picked up around that time, maybe about 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago. There's a range of time where I had a lot of time and I played a lot of games, but I didn't finish a lot of the games that I started. And that's one of the games that I started. I finished it. I beat the last boss, and I remember beating the challenge, the arena, I think it was called, something like that. It was a huge pain in the ass, but I remember beating that. And then when I looked at the achievements, I saw that most of the achievements that were left over were speedrun achievements, which at the time I wasn't really, I do them now, but I wasn't really ready for it. And I just haven't gotten back to Hollow Knight. And because I haven't gotten back to finish Hollow Knight for 100%, I felt like it was kind of irresponsible of me to buy a new game whenever I hadn't cleaned my plate for the last game. So I want to go back and play it. I really enjoyed the game, the way that it did storytelling, and Metroidvanias are kind of a comfy space for me. I played the ever-loving shit out of Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo when I was a kid, so it feels really cozy to be in that environment, a Metroidvania. Based on every dev in AAA has lost the passion to make quality product while in the industry. A lot are starting to leave to go indie. Too many people care about the money and not the product. Hollow Knight just got performance and graphics update the other day. Pantheon. Is that the title of a game? Because I'm blanking. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't sound like something I've played, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Hollow Knight is a fantastic game that is not for me. Yeah, I totally get that. A lot of people are not into platformers, and that's a completely normal and valid perspective to take. Pantheon is the Hollow Knight challenge. I don't know what that... Oh, Pantheon, that's got to be it. Yeah, yeah. The boss rush arena in Hollow Knight. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I did. I remember it being a lot of bosses one after the other, and I remember needing to learn how to do the juggling, the reverse juggling, where you like jump up into the air and then you downward attack, and you have to time your downward attacks perfectly so that you bounce up perfectly repeatedly and you don't die. And I did that. The timing was absolute hell, but I did it. Pogo, yeah, that one. Silksong feels like it was made for Hollow Knight veterans. Yeah. That's the vibe I got. And one of the reasons I didn't want to jump right into Silksong is because I still need to go finish cooking Hollow Knight. Alright, I did not do this, but I need to. I need to spread people out in the facility, because this is a red noon, which could kill everybody in the facility or kill nobody. And it all depends on whether or not I have my characters spread out evenly around the facility. Did you do the Path of Pain? I played Path of Exile, and I did the Hall of the Grand Masters. That is definitionally a Path of Pain. But I'm not sure about Hollow Knight. There's a lot of corners of the game. There's a lot of little corners in the game that I never saw. I never touched. So that might be one of those ones that I didn't get. Hornet is super cute and worth it. I mean, yeah. I wasn't living under a rock when Silksong came out. I saw the bug booty. I'm about that life. I think a Silksong is one of the games that I would definitely be interested in playing. But it's funny, a lot of the games that I pick up and start working on are these massive 100+ hour projects and require an enormous amount of time to finish. And I just seem to keep on picking up more and more of them. Her gliding is the funniest animation. Does she pick out, she like do a parasail? Is that what it is? I can't, or is it her skirt? I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember. I saw a very little amount of Silk Song playthrough. Yeah, that's it. Oh, Bina! Bina story. Here we go. This is no man's land, the place of silence. Most employees that visit and stay here lose their minds and embrace oblivion. It's been a long while since I had a proper conversation with someone. Maybe you were confused with the idea that I'm the only resident here. But there is in fact a companion of mine that passes the eternity with me. Let me introduce her to you. You created the bucket by reconstructing, dividing, and proliferating Carmen's body, and you managed to extract Kagito, the so-called fluid of life and death. At first, only a small dose could be extracted, but enigmatically, that fluid started to gush out infinitely, and now has formed a pool. Can you see her? She's watching us from underneath the spring. When everything becomes too burdening, I quietly stare into the bottom. I feel as if she and I were the only two in the world when I do so. Sometimes I feel like she's still talking to me, even though all that's left of her is just an amalgamation of flesh, brain, neurons, and unknown tentacles drifting beneath the spring. Someone injected herself with Kagito, following her own principles, and someone else went mad for witnessing that happening. Another gave up his own body and fell into a state of limbo, unable to live or die, and the one that couldn't preserve herself through all this ended up confessing everything to the head. This is the collaboration of despair that you and her created. You still aren't qualified to look toward the bottom of the spring. To do so, you must look directly towards the path you travel. You seek redemption, or do you seek to redeem me, along with all the others that are trapped here? Whatever it is, maybe you think that saving this facility from sin, as you have planned, will fix everything for you. Just think for a moment. Even you, who hasn't left this facility for such a long time, you should be aware that people are hopelessly being killed by abnormalities in other branches even as we speak. And it's not just them. All the wings have their own painful stories repeating perpetually. In the nests, in the back streets, in the ruins, in the outskirts. A pain much greater than what you have seen here prevails in the world. I've observed everything continuously, for I didn't obsess myself with an unreachable ideal to lock myself up in a cramped room like you. The world looked up at me, and the one I looked down upon are that much different. Goddamn, Bina. Her dialogue makes my brain twist into knots. You captured me alive and tortured me to your heart's content, but still were sunken in despair, and someone will replace me as one of the arbiters of the head, swinging their claws at people like you. Even if you were to break the cycle somehow, it would be a perfectly, completely useless affair. Broken wings will outstretch anew. The brief resistance will be forgotten soon, and people will continue living, not for a purpose or a dream, but rather simply because they cannot die. You may think that you have brought me down, yet, as you can see, I'm still at the peak, looking down upon you while you writhe like insects. I eagerly wait for the moment you fall into despair after realizing that this cycle of pain will never end. I want to see you kneel before the might of destiny, resigning yourself to fate. Go on, slowly. Despair and succumb to your fate. Try to resist to the very end and ultimately break yourself. As the last bits of your resistance melt away, we shall be the subterranean water that quietly flows underneath the earth. She was mortally wounded by Kali, but she was our only way out. It was a miracle that we captured her alive. We were too far down the road, filled with remorse and regret, to feel any sort of guilt. I'm pausing for a second. Holy shit. So, Bina is from the head, came to the facility to fuck shit up, released all of the abnormalities, and Kali, who is, if I recall correctly, that's Jebera. Kali killed all of the abnormalities, or suppressed all of the abnormalities by herself, and then after that, fought Bina head to head, and mortally wounded her. even though Kali was herself mortally wounded. Holy shit. Jebra is such a boss. It's so cool. Yeah. It's what a cool character. I love Jebra. She's so awesome. Okay. Probe her head. We've got nothing else to do. How to avoid the head's pursuit. The means to join the ranks of the wings, and the way for us, the few, to survive. It was impossible to figure those out on our own. She was hardly breathing, but her encephalon was still alive. That was all we needed. We probed through her head like we did to Carmen. We searched for the way out. After that, we arduously gather up every single bit of those deformed pieces. Holy shit. That's what's left of Bino whenever they're done? Oh my god. Oh, and the little, like, claw. Yeah, she was impaled by mimicry. The little claw that's just, like, gripping the brain. Oh my god. After that, we arduously gather up every single bit of those deformed pieces. The sentinel who guards the gates of hell must always be in despair. Such despair that they cannot even fall into the depths of hell. Alright. We've got our Bina suppression to work on now. Yeah, girl. Let's see what her requirements are. For sure. It's funny, like, she's talking about, like, I don't know, surviving out of spite and being like, even at this point, like, fuck you, manager, but, yeah. She absolutely deserves to be where she is. An arbiter awakens. That is cryptic. My god, that donut is so good. Yeah, well, we're just gonna have to see what happens. Who knows? Time to fight an arbiter. It'll be super easy. Oh, we got a boss fight. Okay. Suppress Bina's core. I think it's literally, it's like, Jebra, where we're just kill her. Okay, so I see that she has a meltdown of gold on seemingly random abnormalities around the facility. I'm checking around down here as well. Yeah, we've got meltdown of dark fog. Meltdown of gold. And they are timed. Okay, that's interesting. Well, we can pause. So already this is much easier. This is already much easier than Fatal's. Or not Fatal. This is already much easier than Hakma's meltdown. Alright, well, we'll send Jax to go work with Big and Will Be Bad. I think we need to send in, I guess Jobby can do this work over here. I mean, we don't know what actually is going to be happening with these unique meltdowns, but what I can tell, the meltdown of Dark Fog, for example, is just a minus 10%. We're gonna send in Yum Yum. Both Yum Yum and Cat are using Censored's weapon, which we can't instantly replace, but we do have alternates that we can use instead of that. And then we're going to send Cat in to work with nothing there. I just want to make sure that I send one person to work with all of these. I don't know what the meltdown of gold does, but I'm imagining it's not good. You guys can do work there, and I'm pretty sure that's all of the meltdowns. Oh, the Mirror of Adjustment. I think the Mirror of Adjustment, the first time you use it, doesn't fuck your stats. I'm pretty sure. People are just dropping. Look at that. He's just dead. I don't know where these people are dying, or why these people are dying, but it's going to be a real problem if she just randomly kills people around the facility. If only I knew what power this place held, I could have acquired Nantaka Kantaka. Alright, she is Okay, so Army in Black is out. All right. Army in Black can cause problems because I think Army in Black will occasionally cause like I think Army in Black just caused a meltdown on Dreaming Current. So we'll need to send somebody in there. Let's send Yum Yum in to go do Dreaming Current. And Fatal is the goat. So Fatal will slap the Arbiter. I need to take a peek around because Army in Black again will just break shit out. And that's a problem for me. I don't like that. Well, all of the damage types that you're doing to her are fatal. So she seems to be taking a shit ton of damage. Oh no, now she's enduring. Huh. Why don't we call the rabbits? I mean, we can do that. I'm kind of experimenting right now. You just took a ton of damage. Oh my god. So she just did a wind-up attack. I couldn't really see what she was doing because of the angle, but it looks like she did a wind-up attack and hit everybody in a line. So I think we need to get Big Bird. So Big Bird needs my, like, undivided attention, and that's because Big Bird can break out. Red Shoes is doing a thing. Yum Yum's right there, so we'll send Yum Yum in to do work with Red Shoes. Who is the other person that's down here fighting? I think Cat is the one who's fighting. I think I'm gonna have Cat back off. And I'm Fatal, you're just gonna follow her around and beat on her while I micromanage putting Big Bird back in its cage. So Big Bird, it looks like Big Bird only does his bite thing and... Oh my god, fuck, I forgot. Oh, shit. It's cooked. Easily, we're cooked. Oops. Whoopsies. Okay. Do not fear, for I am with thee. Thou shalt not leave until I permit thee. There's the traitor. Oh god. No, it's Apocalypse Bird. Yep. Oh, it's completely cooked. Everybody's dead. Everybody. But he won't let me pause. He also won't let me go to the menu to end the day. So it's just completely cooked. I do appreciate how all of the abnormalities are going around. Can I request? Yeah, I can. Oh, interesting. She costs a certain amount of PE, so we have to spend Enacaphalin to get her to do the thing. Okay, so once we suppress... I think once we suppress... with one sin, we're suppressing what's his face. but I need to do this before Apocalypse Bird pops out, or I can't press escape. There we go. God damn. Shit gets out of hand really quickly. The only thing I know about her is the meltdown. Rabbit Squad locks down the department and hunts everyone inside, friendly or not. Yeah. I want to try out the rabbit on Bina. And it's empty because of the suppression. And it kind of looks like Bina isn't attacking often. It looks like she does do an attack that will probably insta-jib all of the rabbits. But this is a problem for me where this is a problem. If I can't get down into that facility, into that section, it's gonna be trouble. This is all in Korean. I love that. She isn't actually an arbiter, is she? If she is, please keep in mind that this goes against our contract. Guess she isn't a real arbiter after all, but she does seem to be using singularities. I love a special interaction. This goes against our contract, so they're not allowed to do anything against the head, and the head is 0 damage. Jesus. The rabbits are doing nothing. Yeah, so this goes against the contract. So these meltdowns. What do the meltdowns of gold do? It looks like the meltdowns of smoke cause the facility to have a minus 10% chance of a meltdown of dark fog. Yeah, against the contract. That's what the rabbit said whenever they came in. So like the I think this team is a wing. I'm gonna reset the day because I wanted to know the flavor of calling in the rabbits to see what they do. But this is cooked just right out the gate, so I'm gonna let this end. I never thought the day would come where we would defeat an arbiter. We could defeat an arbiter. You can't though. You're all dead, aren't you? I think she killed them all. Yeah, so she's free. So yeah, the contract that Lobotomy Corporation has with the rabbits is that they're able to come in and they have to re-sign the contract like every year, but they come in and they do work for the company just to come in and suppress abnormalities, but they gun everybody down whenever they come in. And I guess part of the contract is a stipulation that you can't order them as a mercenary group to attack the head. And because Bina is basically an assassin from the head, to come in and fuck up shit in Lobotomy Corporation, then you know she's technically part of it. But I guess, yeah, I don't know all of the details yet. I haven't finished the thing. The head is the government, which I'm not a big fan of. I'm generally not a huge fan of governments either. You can't trust the system, man. I love the idea that's in the contract because LobCorp would absolutely ignore the law. Oh, for sure they would. For sure. Okay, so the first thing that I have to do is I need to handle suppressions. One thing that is going to happen is one person. I think I might send 3 people. We're gonna have Necro, Fatal, and Keldy. All 3 of you are are purely on Bina suppression duty. That's literally all you do is Bina suppression. Everybody else, I'm going to try to manage. Oh my god, if I could gun down every single clerk right in the beginning, I would spend literally all of my bullets right out the gate on just gunning down clerks if I could. Kill them. All of them. How would it would look like Library of Ruin or Limbus Company? Oh my god, there's no filter in Library of Ruina? That's awesome! Oh, she just killed all of them. Holy shit. Okay, so opened can of well cheers. We'll send Mickey to that one. Bald is awesome. I don't have anybody that can do work with bald is awesome. Because I don't have anybody that's bald. I guess anybody could go work with them, but then they will become bald. I didn't really want that. Alright, Jobby is over here. I need Jobby to go up here and be on point for that. Jax can work with Big and Will. Yeah, bald is awesome. Yeah, I know it'll make them bald. I don't want them to be bald. Okay, I guess we'll send Greed IRL to go work with bald is awesome. In the interest of keeping keeping the map from... Yep, we knew this was going to happen. Army in Black is loose now. One of the issues with having Army in Black loose is that it, like, will float to other departments, and it will allow other abnormalities to get out. Alright, I need to find who is not actually working right this second. Ferret and Julie are not working. We'll send them to go suppress. I need to find people who are not working who are available to do suppression. This is tricky. This is really tricky. Right out the gate, she just, like, makes makes abnormalities all over the facility go into meltdown. But I don't know if it's obviously not a standard meltdown, but I don't know what the meltdown actually causes. I do know, however, that having Army in Black float around and just do whatever it wants is really bad. It's really bad for my health. Big Bird is very close to breaking out. Where is... I called Bobby up here. Where is he? Jobby? There he is. Alright, so she is doing... Necro, you are doing very, very little damage. So she takes 90% resisted damage from everybody. Oh, yikes. Fatal actually does damage. Like, not a lot of damage, but Fatal actually does damage to her. She's extremely tanky, yeah. Imagine if it made everybody bald when it breached. That would actually be really funny. I think I'd love that thematically. Okay, I need to take a peek around. Big Bird is very close to breaking out. The reason I sent Necro, Fatal, and Keldy over there is because they're all wearing armor that reduces damage they take by anywhere between 80 to 70%, or 70 to 80%. And, oh my god, Doomhauer has gone insane. Why did you go insane, Doom? Okay, Falgrim and Syoko can do suppression. So can Jax, but they're really far away. And Big Bird's out. Big Bird is one where, like, if I take my eye off of the ball for a minute. Lean is bald now, or Greed is bald now. Yeah, Big Bird's one where if I take my eye off the ball for a minute, somebody's just gonna die. Yeah, he does the... Oh, fuck. Doomhauer... Wait, is Doomhauer coming over here to... I think Doomhauer might just die. Because I can't control him. Yep, Doomhauer's dead. That's unfortunate. No deathing Bina will be quite the task. I can see that, yeah. I can see that. My god! I do not know what she hit you guys with, but she hit you guys really, really hard. I'm hoping you guys can heal up before she goes and does that again. Big yikes. Where did she go? Oh, she's transitioning from spot to spot. I'm scrolling through because I took my eye off the ball of, yep, Greed's dead. I knew it. I was like, I took my eye off the ball from Big Bird for 10 seconds, and that's enough for Big Bird to kill you. What is causing the meltdowns? Is it just her? Just as she walks around, she just causes meltdowns to happen? Bina went upstairs. Murder ball time. so hard to see in this area. Sorry guys, I'm not like able to read chat very much. I'm so hyper focused on micromanaging my beans and making sure that they don't die. You can see when she turns, like she's walking, right? She's focused on something. She's going from space to space, and you can see when she turns from the direction that she's facing, the way that she's going, she will look over at my beans, and then you'll be able to see her, like, she'll turn to face, and then once she does that, you know she's about to fuck shit up. And then I need to turn my beans around and get them out of that area. But I have to like hyper focus on that. Yeah, like she's just turned around. I think these guys can go this way, and then we'll have them turn around and keep at it. Yeah, Jax took some damage, so we know that basically she's got range, and we're gonna need to make sure that we are careful about the range that she has. But I'm watching her health bar as she moves, and then she just stops. Like she's still moving. I do think that ignoring the... Alright, here we go. We've got an attack coming. We need to get everybody out of the way. Yeah, so I do think that doing it this way, where we have the ball of people just try to kill her as quickly as possible, completely ignore the meltdowns and just let her do her thing and try to slow her down and do as much damage as we can. I think this is the way. I don't know where she's going, or of course we don't want her to reach her destination. I don't know where she's going. She's facing this way. We run everybody past, and then we get back on her. She has a massive range, absolutely. She hits incredibly hard. Everybody's wearing A-lift gear, but so far as I can tell, the only people that we lost like by not paying attention to Big Bird. I think she's stopped for a second. No, has she shifted positions? Is she moving somewhere else now? The core suppressions are always incredibly intense. It's hard for me to really do much commentary because I'm so hyper focused on, yeah, she's just turned around. I need to get out of the way and then turn around and get back on her. She does so much damage with her attacks, and she has variable damage types, so she's going to hit with basically anything. I can't keep my attention on two things at any given time while fighting her. It's like I said, I just have to kind of bite the bullet and focus 100% on one thing and just let the meltdowns happen. Just say fuck it and let the meltdowns happen. Hopefully this is like only the one phase, because if there's more phases to this, I have no idea what I'm gonna do if this fight goes as hard as Jebra does. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Be glad you can pause, unlike Big Mom. Oh my god, yeah. Not being able to pause on this fight would be feel lucky also that no one's there, hasn't wandered its way over here to us yet. Wreak havoc. Judgment Bird is here. Judgment Bird is tricky because Judgment Bird just does flat out, just does judgment damage. And we've also got Big Bird here now as well. We just want to stay with the Arbiter. She's so close. Oh no! Fuck! Maybe. Ah, shit. All agents are dead. My death ball turned into an apostle ball. That's true. That's true. So yeah, we're definitely cooked, but look at that. She's almost done. I think the only thing that I need to make sure does not happen is I need to make sure that I need to make sure that he doesn't break free. Fetus baby needs to stay in its cage. It's literally the only thing that I cannot allow to break free. The only thing. I completely forgot about it. I was so hyper-focused on BNAT that everything wrong is happening. That's true. That's true, Fatal. Everything that could possibly go wrong. Call me Murphy, because this is my law. Do you want hints about this fight, or are we still fuck it we ball mode? I am currently in fuck it we ball mode. I was so close to getting her HP to 0. I would like you to tell me, though, before I jump right back into that, if I get her HP to 0, did I win? Or am I just fucked? I would like to know if I get her HP to 0. I want to know if getting her HP to 0 is the win condition. She isn't a single phase fight. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, is there any way that I can do more damage to her than I currently am doing? Because I currently am in a position where I don't know. Okay. So I could be doing more damage to her, but I'm not. Okay. We're gonna play animal, vegetable, mineral. No, just give me a hint as to is there something, is it their flavor or something? Yeah, give me a hint on how I can do more damage to her. If this is not a single phase fight, we're gonna be here for a while. Her meltdowns have special names for a reason. Okay. So there's the gold meltdown, the smoky meltdown. So what you're saying is that I have to deal with her meltdowns. I can't murder ball. I can't murder ball her. I mean, I feel like that my facility is specifically fucking me then, if that's the case, because my facility does not lend well to me splitting my attention to multiple things. I mean, I was maybe try doing the exact opposite of your prior plan. The exact opposite of my prior plan? Wait, my prior plan was not to murder ball her. I started murder balling her because people were dying because I was splitting my attention. So, like, if I split my attention, like, what's his name is gonna break. Then ad break is coming in. I'm gonna use the toilet. I'll be right back. Departmental themes. Put balls on Bina. Opposite of murder ball. Yeah, the opposite of murder ball would be paying attention to the meltdowns and trying to do those while ignoring Bina. Just completely ignoring her. I will give it a shot. I'm not necessarily stoked on the fact that we have so many of our people spread all over the facility. Let me see here. And I need to move. Jobby. Doomhauer was the one who was working up here on White Knights. And then I had Fatal just beating on her. She was taking fatal amounts of damage when Fatal was working on her before. Having a bunch of clerk lovers makes ignoring her annoying because of her huge AoE attacks. Yeah, like, I could use the rabbits to try to lock her into an area, but she just killed them all instantly and just walked away. So I don't know what I'm, like, rabbits were mentioned, but I don't know how I'm supposed to get the rabbits to, I don't know how I'm supposed to get that strategy to work, per se. Only an abno could love the detestable clerks. Yeah, our contract forbids killing feds. Oh wait, she's not a fed? Lit. I always wanted to kill a fed. What? I think that's literally what she said. She's like, our contract strictly forbids us from killing, you know, the state, members of the state. But then, she's like, I'm so hyped to kill you. Like, what? She does just love killing. Okay. So we've got our meltdowns. Meltdown of Dark Fog. Shelter. And Kirigo. And Falgrim over there. And then we've got Der Freischütz. And Yum Yum. White Knight was getting with Doomhauer anyway. Fatal can do Judgment Bird. Piper can do that one. And Lean can get the last one up there. All right, and she just caused Dreaming Current to melt down? Is that what happened? Boop. Stack up, yes. Stack up. She didn't do that. The shelter did that. Or maybe she did do that and it wasn't the shelter. Alright, I'm checking around. I'm looking for the initial things. I don't see any other meltdowns going on aside from that one right there. Now I want to see something. Oh, yeah, now she's doing fatal levels of damage. So she's taking full damage. Oh my god. What caused her to go insane? Fatal levels of damage. You heard me. So I'm doing damage to her now that all of the suppressions are finished. I'd have to check the wiki, but I'm pretty sure Bina is similar to Jebera and does every damage type. Yeah, she does every type of damage that I've seen. She is taking significantly more damage. But now, like, am I supposed to run my team down here to fight? Am I supposed to fight her now? God damn it. Please, cat. Holy shit, stop. Nobody can hit you. Well, now she's enduring. And I guess once you get to endure, that's it. You're gonna have to... So it looks like there's like a damage window? That sucks. That sucks so much ass, man. And it specifically sucks a ton of ass because I don't have a wild, insano style amount of characters. Like I've got every character that I have is fully geared out, kitted out to the max. I don't have a bunch of random people. All right, now she's done the thing again where we've got to do work. Oh, man. This fight... this fight hurts. But I guess what I would want to do is I'd want to send Fatal in to just constantly be hitting her. Right, that was my original strategy, was just to have Fatal on her constantly. I can send Jax to work with Dreaming Current, because that is still doing a thing. And then we do need to send somebody, I think Leon can do it after he starts with You Must Be Happy. I can just immediately get Leon out of there. And work with Fairy Festival. God damn it. And this meltdown over here is a doozy. Flesh Idol, I have to watch it for 30 seconds. Or I need to do a count, like a 30-second count, in order to keep it from popping. And Army in Black is out, killing a bunch of stuff. Big Bird is about to break out. It's only like a very short amount of time Big Bird is going to break out. Mickey takes 50% bonus justice damage, so I don't think he'd survive working on Flesh Idol. I gotta pick somebody who's going to be able to make it to Flesh Idol in time and who's got the damage resistance to not get murked by it instantly. So we'll send Necro to it, and I guess we'll send Syoko over here to this one. And now that that's done, I guess I find her, and then I send everybody to go suppress her. Where is she? Hardest boss, Hakma Balls, Jebra, or Bina. I don't know, I'll let you know whenever I'm done. Oh. Whoopsies. Kiryu just died. Only people with immense amounts of damage resistance can actually take that damage. I'd say Bina, but honestly, I'd agree with someone if they answered any of the three. I mean, I'm annoyed by Bina mostly right now. That I think she just is annoying me. All right, so she did just switch into the next phase. And now she's got Meltdown of Waves. Music change. Sounds nice. Okay. Mickey can do work up here. My God. This seriously is, this is so much. It's so much to process. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. That's where I'm at right now. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm completely overwhelmed. Completely. Just completely overwhelmed. God damn it. I think that's all of them. All of them have been targeted. As to whether or not, like, we've actually been able to do all of them, I'm not sure. Nope, the mirror. We need to send somebody over here to work with the mirror. Okay, and Kirgo is dead. We knew that. So currently Kirgo is the only one who is dead. You need to come out of there, Ferret, and everybody else needs to jump on her. And then we need to send Lean to go use the mirror. Rip Lean. Where is he? How did he die? The fuck just happened? Oh my God, it's the stupid goddamn fairy festival. Oh my God. Too many spinning plates. Too many spinning plates. I need one person, any human, go touch the fucking thing. I think we're definitely cooked here. Just because, like, we're out of people. Ferret, get out of the fucking thing! Oh my God! He's causing meltdowns, you guys. He's, like, standing inside the shelter, just smiling his ass off, and I cannot get him to get out of it. Everything's gone wrong. It's true. It's true. Everything has gone wrong. Alright, is she taking damage now? Why is she not taking damage? Might be worth buying a bunch of nudists just to throw towards tools, etc. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to. I've got a whole set of people on deck. So she's resisting all of my damage now. Is this working as intended? I thought that, like, if I completed all of her meltdowns, I'd be able to actually hurt her. But it looks like the meltdowns are completed, but she's still not taking damage. This is the only one that still has a meltdown. Yeah, she's resisting all of the damage that we're doing. I think there's one abnormality that you didn't get that's one of my personal favorites. Yeah, I can imagine this fight with the train. I mean, I'm not tickled to be doing this fight with White Knight in the field either. The thing that's irritating me is that I'm not, like, I don't see where I missed any of the meltdowns. I think I got all of the meltdowns, but she's not taking damage. Super hell. So did she go from, like, immune to damage to now taking... Oh my god. She immediately turns around. She's resisting damage. Is that as much... Is this as much damage as I can do now? I mean, like, I'll deal with it if this is the maximum amount of damage that I can do right now, but I won't love that, personally. Yeah, she currently has 90% damage resistance. I'm just looking around and I don't see any more I don't see any more things that I can interact with. I did notice that whenever I was working a Special Meltdowns mod check, I mean, I'm looking. There are no special meltdowns now. But she is not taking, she's like taking no damage. She's not taking no damage, but she's taking next to no damage. Oh. She just did the thing. Like, I guess I can't suppress that meltdown because she's still currently out. What am I supposed to do about that? Bizarre. Rippling. This is absolute chaos. Yeah, not enough people. Maybe watch what happens with the special meltdowns. Okay, if you're trying to bring my attention to something, I need you to be a little bit more specific with that, because you say watch what happens with the special meltdowns. I did notice that there are spikes that pop out of the ground in random places. I'm assuming that there's something that is causing that to happen. Meltdown of waves, or meltdown of dark fog, or meltdown of gold. I'm assuming that one of those is the thing that is causing the thing to happen. But like, if you want to bring my attention to something specific that I am missing, if it's something that I like is right in front of my face and I can't see it, look if something happens when one completes. I mean, this run is cooked anyway, so... Oh, Ferret's dead. I don't know how that happened. Probably got eaten by Big Bird. Okay, so when we do the meltdown of gold, let's see what happens. This has to be meltdown of waves. This has to be that. So there's a doo-doo trail that just flew off in this direction. I have no idea where it went. Is that the doo-doo trail? Is that what you're talking about? The problem with using Red Riding Hood is Red Riding Hood requires an investment of positive equivalent, and if I don't have the PE when the thing starts. I know that's a possibility. I could do that after I've gained a little bit of positive equivalent, but it's not something I can do right out the gate. Yeah, I saw a doo-doo trail fly off into the distance, but I have no idea where it went or what it does. God, that is ear cancer. I understand that I need to like take care of the meltdowns. I get that. What I don't understand is how in the actual hell I'm gonna do this without populating the entire facility. I've got lob. I could spend lob to boost people up. I could spend lob to boost a couple of people up. What is, I think it's day 42? Yeah, it's day 42. I could boost some of my random bozos up and get their stats a little bit higher. Maybe level 4 would be enough to just survive and do random shit inside the facility. We need a lot of employees in case people die, honestly, even if you plan on only using the elite team. That's kind of like I feel like I've backed myself into a corner, honestly, with the amount like only having 1 or 2 employees in an entire department seems like a really, really bad idea. So yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend some. I could always just roll back because it costs me practically nothing to roll back. So I'm going to assign. I'm just gonna go through and assign these random bozos. I'm gonna boost them up to level 4. And we're going to make sure that we have 3 people in each department. 4 is enough to wear any of the WoW gear that I can think of. So having 3 people in each department. And then only using the Aleph folks to attack Bina directly. And I think having... The original idea that I had was having... essentially having Keldy, Fatal, and Necro on her literally the entirety of the fight. So Keldy, Fatal, and Necro on her literally the entirety of the fight. Thrift store bozos are good for hitting those tools, etc. For sure. For sure. You're 100% true. I shouldn't have neglected filling out my facility more. It is 100%. I'm sitting on a mountain of lob, and I haven't used like any of it. It's I know. I'm here. I know I'm fucking up. I'm gonna do prep work. I'm looking at the time. It is almost 12:30 in the afternoon here. And today's my day to go pick up my son from school. So I'm going to need to hop off here relatively soon. My partner and I hang out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We go and watch a movie or do something together. So I've actually used, not all of my lob, but I've actually used all 12 of the Bozo Rando employees that I had on the bench this entire time. And we still need 1 more person. So we're gonna hire 1 more random Bozo. Or, you know what? We're gonna Phantom. Phantom is joining. Can I just call you Phantom Dusk or Phantom? Do you have a particular name that you want me to make you, or any particular look you'd like to have? Don't know why. Justice is pricey. Okay. Time to poke around really quick. I'm doing a lot of prep work. I don't think I'm gonna get an honest to goodness attempt in for today. I think we're gonna do some preparation work, assigning people into roles, getting people geared up and things like that. And tomorrow's stream, we are going to fight for sure. We are going to fight Bina, and I'm determined we will conquer Bina tomorrow for sure. So ego weapons, we've got 2 extra Aleph ego weapons. So one of those we're gonna slap onto Phantom. We'll do Decapo onto Phantom. And then Danger Prone Daphne will get the no, you can't carry that. You're not strong enough. You need a Fortitude level 5 to use that. So we need to take Daphne. We'll get a Fortitude level up. Insufficient lob. Well, how about that? Literally 1 lob short. Okay, so that means we are just going to be using WoW. Conquering Bina. We do try. Okay. Literally just going through and slapping practically any old gear onto characters. Although I'm prioritizing the gear that I know has better stat spreads. And the gear that is less likely to damage me. For example, magic bullet, just not really a good idea. You need an ego suit. This is a good one. And Yum Yum, they're set, and now upstairs is where we're missing quite a few people. And diffraction is decent, but I pretty much always prefer melee weapons. Or ranged weapons, god. The opposite of what I said. Take what I said, flip it. The opposite, that's what I like. Exuviate. Alright, slapping on some ego suits. And then we should be pretty much set. It was a double KO. They're definitely a switch couple. Kali conquered Bina. I would absolutely read that fanfic. I'd read it more than once. All right, now I think that means we've got our entire facility is set at minimum 3 people in each department. That should be enough to cover all of the meltdowns. And it should be enough to have, like I said, our A team on Bina practically the entire time. Now, one thing I do need to do is I have to shift. Doomhauer needs to come down here, and I think I'll put Ferret upstairs because Doomhauer has to follow around White Knight. Now, I'm gonna have to reset that because I'm gonna start the day and end the day, because if I don't start and end the day, then all the things that I just did don't count. They don't get saved. So yeah, there's no point in doing all of this preparation work and then having it go to waste. So now that that's saved, I think I've got a pretty solid idea of how I want to tackle the Bina fight. I don't want to be heavily spoiled. Like I've looked around the map and I can see that like for some of the events, for some of the situations, it seems as though the meltdowns do different things. I have no idea what the gold meltdown does. It seems to fly up to Bina. So one thing I'm considering is perhaps ignoring the other meltdowns that come up and only doing the gold meltdowns, then going and attacking Bina, But at the same time, like, I don't care about the clerks dying, but I do care about the people who are supposed to be standing stationary and doing their work. So I think I do need to make sure that I just have people on deck to do that shit all the time. I had too many people running around the facility last time, and it got really out of hand really quickly. But yeah, we'll give it the old college try again tomorrow. For now, I think we're gonna call it a day. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. Thank you for chatting and for being with me as I go along this journey. This game is so much. It is so much. But I'm hyped. I'm just happy to be here. I'm looking forward to doing more. I thought after I beat Jebra that was like the pinnacle, and oh my god, no. Bina is more annoying because at least with Jebra I could focus just on Jebra, but with this I have to focus on the entire facility, and I have some of the most obnoxious abnormalities to keep under wraps while doing so. But imagine if it had workshop support. Oh my god. Yeah. But thank you so much, guys, again for hanging out. Phantom, thank you for coming in, hanging out and chatting. It's been nice. Kirgo, thank you so much if you're still there, also for hanging out and stuff. Fatal, Necro, Keldy, love you guys. Again, !Discord, you get a Discord link, you can hop in, we chat whenever I'm not on stream and stuff, and hang out and play games together. But I will see you guys soon. See you tomorrow. Have a nice night, or day, or morning, wherever you happen to be in the world, and I'll see you next time. All right, toodles.